Shine tennis live on.
Wait, fun.
Get on.
Yeah, what? All right, ladies and gents, children of all ages, boys and girls, back again for another episode of the Experts, Solid Pods, sports podcast, the best sports podcast in the country. Don't let it thing go. It's your boy Sanzo, back again for another episode to recap a busy sports week. So let's get to it. Your boy Sanzo, my co-host X Factor. What's good, bro?
Heading for it right now. Trying to find the volume on this thing.
Yeah, man. So let's get to it. You know what I mean? Let's get to it. We got a busy week in the NFL, week 6. Uh, some good games going down. We wasn't able to make our picks for the past Sunday for it, but nonetheless, we still had some good games going on. So, what you thought about the game Sunday and the game Monday night as well?
Well, once again, I dominated the fantasy week. So obviously my picks were pretty good. Uh,
I
but
mean, you
all
should
in all,
dominate this.
well,
I mean, you should dominate this one.
that's obvious. I
You
still
might
dominate
win.
every week.
You might have win in fantasy, but I mean, you should win. Yeah.
But
Go on.
obviously, like I say, I picked very well. The Monday night game was pretty good. I think it was what Bills and Titans. Derrick Henry is
Agree.
single-handedly winning fantasy for me. That was my best pick for both leagues. One league I have Josh Allen as well. So, well, I ain't like they put on a show Monday night. Derrick Henry just like I don't know, but Derrick Henry just different. Like if he could stay healthy, I feel he could be the greatest running back of all time. He's on pace to do it. He just got to stay healthy, and he need like another probably if he put in another 4 to 5 good seasons at the level he at now, or even close to this level, he could easily be considered one of the best running backs of all time.
That's some high praise, son. I mean, I necessarily disagree with you. I feel like every week we shift up these MVP talks, but to be honest, his name deserves to be right at the top of that conversation. And you think about what he is to for that offense, like, wait, where would they be without him? Boy? Like, and even when he ain't uh, directly affecting it with his rushing yards, just his presence just opening up so much other avenues for them, for their passing game, for their receivers. You see AJ Brown had a decent game as well. So it's like, wait, like he truly is. I mean, for since the season started, he truly basically been a one man show,
I
and
mean, yeah,
defenses
he is that
haven't been able
offense
to figure him out. Yeah,
because
and they still haven't been able to figure him out.
Tannehill ain't doing nothing. They bring in Julio Jones. Julio Jones ain't show us nothing. AJ Brown, like he's be on and off. He had an okay game. And then he had like 90, 95 yards. That was about it. But
Decent game.
Derrick Henry just a monster, bro. Like dog deserve what 100 yards easy every game, and he ain't even, like he scored 2 and 3 touchdowns. Like it ain't just a bunch of yards and can't score. Like dog, but anyway in the end zone straight through. And if for some reason he's up these long runs for a guy that size and that height, he should not be that fast. There's no way a guy six
Yeah,
three, almost twice some of these fellas' size, breaking away from the pack, and
and
these
he's
guys
talking.
5'10", 150, 160 can't catch you. Wow.
And he's talking. He have some like some real top end speed. Like when he really get into gear, it's like, boy, like he on a different Like he moving at a different pace than everybody else. But so I mean, it's like I say, he definitely deserves some MVP talks. Like the conversation still feel like it's switch up every week, but I mean, you have to put him in there, especially after a win against a Bills team who was starting to click as well. You know what I mean? So all in all, would you say that was the game of the week? I think that probably was.
Uh, game of the week. Uh, I see. Let me see. Looking at it now. Oh, of course not. Game of the week obviously was Patriots Cowboys. Um,
Stop it. Stop it.
that was a down to
You
the
ain't,
wire game. That was
you ain't,
the
you ain't,
that
you ain't
was
put,
a that was easily the game of the week. Um, no one expected the Patriots to put up a fight like they did. Same thing that I told you with Tampa Bay. Like Bill Belichick, even if this is a losing season, you ain't coming in there and destroying the Patriots at no point in time. The Cowboys, who was 4-1 and had the, I think, second or third best offense in the NFL, struggled to score, struggled to put up points, and it went into overtime. And just at the end, like the Patriots just run out of gas. But like I say, Mark Jones show everybody that he is a viable candidate for Rookie of the Year. And
hey,
even though he threw an interception, if you watch this games, all his just about every interception he threw this season came off the hands of receivers. You can't blame the man for them. They need to just give him receivers. Like this guy is throwing to literally nobodies. Like literally.
I would say you can't blame the man, but I do get your point. And then to a larger point, you sort of understand why Tom Brady left, right? Even though that might have not been the only reason, they just don't really have enough weapons. And as a rookie quarterback, finding your way, you don't have enough weapons. It sort of makes your job a little bit harder. I mean, thank God he plays in a style, a system and a style of play that suits him. But it's a rough adjustment for him. But he's adjusting. I give him that. He's adjusting, and like I said, with Belichick there, definitely he'll get there in time. Um, what do you think about the Cowboys? So they just keep winning. Like ever
Um
since week one, them dudes just been winning games. I mean, listen, we already said from a long time that these dudes had to win at least 10 to 12 games because of their schedule. We already said that for a long time. So I know big why. But they still beating the teams in front of them and they managing to do it in impressive ways. So what's your thoughts on the Cowboys?
I wouldn't say impressive ways, but they find ways to win. My thing with the Cowboys is like I tell Cowboys fans want too much praise. Take what you get and keep it moving, bro. My thing is you can't keep comparing yourself to other teams. They say, no, well, why you always give the Bills all these praise? Why you always give the Chiefs all this praise? Like, you mean the teams who's go to the playoffs and like win? Like the Bills it was like a game away from the Super Bowl. The Chiefs already won a Super Bowl and was in the Super Bowl. And you want us to say, oh well, the Cowboys better than them. The Cowboys this and that. Like Bottom must be running on about, oh, Dak is the best quarterback in the league because he does this and he does that. It's been
I
like,
wouldn't go
but
that far. I wouldn't
like
go that
dog,
far.
like come on, man. Like Cowboys
I mean,
fans,
it's
my
good
thing
enough.
is you gotta do better. I don't
It's
mind
good
them
enough
winning.
confidence in your team.
Like Cowboys is one of my favorite teams. Like I just don't like their fans. Like behind the Patriots, I pull for the Patriots first, then the Bucks, and then the Cowboys. But the way they fans is carrying on, like you got to be realistic. You got to say, hey, listen, we have a easy. And I used to tell people this with the Patriots. Okay, we win 12 games. But to be honest, most of our games that year was what Bills when they wasn't good, Jets when they wasn't good, and Dolphins who never was good. So it's like, okay, cool. That's an easy 6 games. But don't make it seem like when we get to the playoffs, we lose in the first round. That's the difference. When the Patriots beat all these teams all season, then they get to the playoffs and you making deep runs. That's all we ask Dallas to do. Don't do all this when you get an easy schedule. Win your division, then go in the first divisional round against a 6 seed, 7 seed scrapping, probably the 49ers or Seahawks who Russell will might miss half the season, and then go in the first game and get your head punch off. Like that's the difference with Dallas. That
So
don't
you
make
think
sense.
so essentially you're telling me you think Dallas is a regular season team. That's what essentially you're telling me.
Yeah,
You
when they
don't feel it
good.
is.
Obviously,
you know
they're a
they
regular season team. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since what, 1995? Come on,
but
man.
is this roster? You think that with their style of play, you think they built for the regular season, or that this is a team that could make a run in the playoffs?
Um, Honestly, this is the best team they had in a while, I must say.
I think so too.
Dak is playing at a high level. I must give. See, that's why I say I give these guys their credit. But don't come at me with that. Oh, we top two, top three. Like I ain't into that. But and I don't watch stats. Like I watch play. Like you always talking about Sam Darnold, top two, top three for his 2 weeks of the season, for his 3 weeks
He
of the
was.
season. Now you can't even find him. That's what
I
I
never
said.
said he was forever going to be that. I say for the first week of the season, that's what he was.
Dak them playing
You
at a
got
high level, but I can't give him that because it's for the season, bro. Like you got to give me that complete consistency. But so far they what 5-1.
5
Um,
and 1. They got the Vikings next up, so that should be
the
a tough one.
Vikings is a sometimey team. If the Vikings show up, they might have a hard time winning. But if they don't, then Dallas can look good again. After that, they get the Broncos. No challenge there. The Falcons. No challenge there. Their first real challenge will be on the 21st of November when they play Kansas City, who has a crappy defense this year. So it's almost like it could be a high scoring game and whoever basically score last, I guess. So they have like a little stretch. They got the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Saints, and I think at the end of their season they have the Cardinals. But other than them 4 to 5 games, Dallas rest of the season is Broncos, Falcons, Washington twice, Eagles, the bang up Giants. Like, come on, man, you got to give me at least 10 wins. You done got five. Out of all the rest of these games, all we
Halfway there.
asking you is five more.
They're halfway there. I think 10 or 12 is an easy bar for them to clear. I think that's easy. With their schedule, that's easy bar for them to clear. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they have one or two that down games. But like you say, if you look on paper, just look at the team itself. Doc is playing like a elite quarterback, borderline elite quarterback, top 10 QB. They got the running game. Um, they got the receivers, right? You got CD Lamb, Amari Cooper. You know what I mean? You got a running game with Zeke and your boy Pollard. So it's like they have the pieces on paper to be a really good team. It's just, is it all hype, or will they piece it together in terms of a deep playoff run? Like you said, we got to really see them against stiffer competition. They ain't really played on stiff yet. But I think Vikings will give them a good run their next game. And I think we could probably make a better assessment. Ray, what you say?
Who we talking about?
We talking about that the Cowboys hype. Is it real, or is it fake?
Well, no matter how Cowboys play, they always got hype, eh? But I think for me, I in the middle. I can't say real, but then I can't say fake. Fake meaning we know they're trash. We know it ain't gonna happen, and it's only a matter of time before the law of averages run its course. I don't think that's what it is. I
Hmm.
think they performing good, but I like you said, I think we haven't seen them compete against any top-notch teams to even say they is a championship contender. I would like to see them against someone like the Bills, someone like the Chargers, even though they didn't win the championship last week.
Yeah.
So I think until we see them against a big team like that, we could go ahead and
Didn't they already play the Chargers?
the Cowboys play the Chargers.
Yes, they beat the Chargers in week 2.
The Cowboys beat the Chargers in week two.
Yep.
How the Chargers lost week one and win everything else.
Nope.
But no, I lean in more towards real than fake though, because I've seen
Yeah,
them at their worst. I've seen them at their worst, and this is far from it. So,
yeah, definitely.
like if you force me to make an opinion, I'd say real.
Yeah, I think it's real. I think it's real. I mean, I think
Like I said,
it
I
just
do
depends on.
believe that they are good. Like the Cowboys, this is the best team they had in a very long time. It's just that their fans going off on all this Super Bowl running on talk, and
Are
I
they
don't be into
right?
that.
So that's my question to you. Are they championship good?
Um, Potentially, from what I see, they have the pieces. The offense is there. The defense, it's not there yet, but it had the potential to be there, and it's longevity. You can't get excited with Diggs. Don't mind that. Oh, interception every game. How long you think you can do that? Then you have an interception for 17 games? Come on, bro. That's not realistic. And if you do, you should be in the Hall of Fame by the end of this season. Come on, there's no way possible you're gonna get a interception in every single game. So far, he's done it, and we applaud him for that. But at some point, the defense is gonna slow down, and other offenses is now gonna catch up to your defense.
Right. Like I say,
And
the law of when the law of averages take run its course, will they still be a top notch team?
exactly, because eventually people can start catching up to your offense now, and
But
all
see,
of that two tight end, I mean two running back switching and switch out guys can start catching on to that, and that could be in a tight zone.
the thing is, right? The law of averages will kick in. I agree with you, great. But it's like, even though it kick in, I mean, does it really matter considering how weak the rest of their schedule is? It's not
Yes,
like they playing
it
a
does.
bunch of great teams.
It doesn't matter when it comes to the regular season, but no one really plays for the regular season. Like it wouldn't matter at the end because, like I say, yeah, you got the Giants, you got Washington twice, you got Philly who win all of that. But the problem is, you might scale wins against them and then go into the playoffs and feel all this confidence, like you beat somebody, and then buck up against a Green Bay or LA Rams or something. Don't forget, you in the NFC. The NFC is far better than the AFC this year. The AFC been running things for the past probably 3 4 seasons, but right now, between the Rams, the Cardinals, uh, obviously the Cowboys is a top team. Like a lot of the big teams this year is in the NFC. So when playoffs time come around, but you would have hell to pay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they could do when they get to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure everybody interested to see how far this team could go. But right now, like I said, right now you got to get your props. We always say you only can play who you can play and who on your schedule, and that's what they're doing right now. So I see nothing wrong with just saying okay, we'll just wait and see if this team really is for real, for real, for real. Uh, what are the games we got here? What y'all thought about the Arizona Cleveland beatdown? Um, I obviously expected Arizona to win. I think everybody would have predicted that. But did y'all expect that game to be as lopsided as it was?
No, I did. Well, kinda, kinda. Yeah, the Browns are good, but they going through something right now. This the week coming up is going to be even worse, and the Cardinals on a roll. So I just think that was more the the Cardinals was always going to win the game. I just think the lopsidedness or the difference in score came because the Cardinals' momentum is full throttle, and the Browns are you know lit, a little bit trying to figure things out right now. Um,
The
Next week is going to
difference
go ahead.
the difference with what going on with the Browns right now is they have the opposite of the Cowboys. The Browns, when they play teams that are beatable, they beat them. The problem is the Browns so far in their 46 games, they are 3-3. They won three and they lost three. You know the three losses that they have: the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, and the Cardinals. They big teams.
Yeah,
The teams who they beat is the Texans, Bears, and Vikings. Now they coming up. They got a easier schedule going forward. So people saying like it's beat the teams, but I always tell people, you could prepare all you want. Uh, like they say, hard work only beats talent when talent don't work hard. But when you get talent and you working hard, but it's hard to beat these teams. So the Browns' problem is they have a lot of
That's
talent,
so their
but they
problem is their schedule.
yeah, exactly. But now their schedule gets a lot easier coming towards this middle. You can see the Browns start to pick up. The
Yeah,
next
but
game they have is the Broncos tomorrow night. Come on now,
how?
who you picking?
But
Yeah, but
let's put it
but
in perspective. Let's put it in perspective. The Browns, we rating the Browns as a top team. They need to beat some of these top teams.
Yeah, but not now.
We
yeah,
not
but
now,
what I
but they
what
do
I
need to have the ability to beat them.
what I want to
No,
mention is the fact that next week you got almost every offensive player out. The quarterback is out. Odell may not play. The two running backs out.
That's why it's
Trevor,
good to have a soft schedule
Trevor,
coming up
some of
because
the
now
offensive tackles.
you got the Broncos up next tomorrow. That's a winnable game. The next week you got the Steelers. That's a winnable game. Then you got the Bengals. That's a winnable game.
They
And
winnable games with Case Keenum throwing the ball.
but I mean, we that ain't no guarantee that Baker's gonna be up that long.
I mean, he coming to press conference, so yeah, sling. I know he could
And then
be.
you
He could
got
be a short
and
break.
the Browns strongest weapon is their run game, and two of their running backs out. I think Hunt
Yeah,
in IR, so he could be out a little while. I
yeah.
don't know
Nick Chubb
about
should be
Chubb.
back next week. I don't think he playing tonight, tomorrow night, but he should be back next week.
Yeah,
But you got the Lions coming up. You got certain teams coming up before. Now they end the schedule hard again. I see the Browns having a letdown at the end of the season because their last 5 games they got the Ravens, the Raiders, the Packers, the Steelers again, and then the Bengals.
Mhm.
I don't know, but them last 2 games they divisional games. Week 17 and 18 is Steelers and Bengals, and
Yeah, but I guess when you look at it like that, then maybe it's a good thing that they get this little injury bug during the time when they have the weaker
a
teams.
soft
Because you don't
schedule.
want that injury bug at the end of the season when you're playing big teams.
Also, you
So
don't want it. You don't want it to the end when you got to ramp up the playoffs.
right,
You
exactly.
prefer to get it in the middles and have 2 or 3 warm up games or whatever before you get into the postseason.
Yeah, so that
Uh,
might
now,
be a blessing in disguise for them.
now you got to hope they break in out too long and they can tread water while some of their running backs out. So that's what they got to hope.
right.
The defense been getting light up these last 2 weeks. You know, some was supposed to be a straight for them. Um, been getting light up for like the last couple of games. So they got to show up not only that side of the ball, but they also got to get healthy as well. Um, the Cardinals, ain't really much you could say about them. Them dudes still rolling. Uh, they got all the confidence in the world. They got all the chemistry in the world. Uh, and you know they look like the best team in NFL
Yeah,
right now.
they do. They just their momentum alone is just
Like
they
I
do they
said,
doing it with ease.
they doing it because of talent. I watched the off-season moves. I told you when you got guys coming there who don't have to be number ones no more, it's easy to look good. You got AJ Green coming there. People are saying, "Oh, AJ Green ain't look good. Oh, he's trash. He career over." Yeah, he's trash when he's a number one. And he got a top cornerback on him and probably safety cover. Now when you get DeAndre Hopkins over there, AJ Green over here running free. AJ Green ain't having a prime season, but he's having a okay season. Same thing with the Kirk guy. He's having a
Christian
good
Kirk.
season
But other
because
teams have talent too though. And they ain't rolling like this team.
not at this position. Go on the defense now. Look at safety. You got Buda Baker, easily top 5 safety in the league. Young, energetic monster. Then you got, don't forget they signed JJ Watt. Y'all forget
Hmm.
about JJ Watt. Y'all right JJ Watt because he's in trash Houston. JJ Watt come there and still be JJ Watt on that line. He may not be leading the league in sacks or tackles like he used to be, but added to that line where you have Chandler Jones who came back. Don't forget all these fellas on this team, Like this was a sleeper team, but this was always a good team, and all they had to do was put if you look at each level of their team, from quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Then you go on the defense and you say defensive line, linebacker, safety. They have a star at each position,
Yeah.
and
They
they have
do.
young stars. They let go their old stars. Patrick Peterson gone. Larry Fitzgerald gone. So they got young stars now they brought in who you ain't got that seniority crap on the team no more. As in, oh,
Or just
they
flowing.
I've been here 6 seasons. Yeah, you've been here 6 losing seasons. So what you come here to tell me? I don't have no story. You got young fellas there, even like JJ Watt. Yeah, you might be a veteran, but you new to this program. So right now, the leader on that team is more like on defense is more Buda Baker, who could mesh with JJ Watt and Chandler Jones. And then on offense, you got Kyler Murray, who could mesh with DeAndre Hopkins. And it's like an offset of, yeah, we talent and you. So they have a perfect, well rounded team right there.
They have a great mix, a great mix of, like you say, young and old, a great mix of experience versus like some lively dudes who just uh young and hungry. So and it all clicking. And confidence is everything. And when you playing with the confidence of Kyler Murray, what he playing with right now, it's little like a touch you. So it'll be a interesting to watch them for the rest of the season. I mean, they got the Texans next week, so they aren't really again they have to worry about. But that's their toughest test coming the week after when they got Green Bay. So that should be a game that all eyes will be glued on. So we'll see how they look when they play those boys. What other games caught your eye? We talked about the big Tennessee game. Of course, we talked about the Dallas New England game. What other games caught your
A
eye
lot of
that
this,
surprised you?
a lot
The,
of
the,
this is real blowouts.
for me, the Chargers and the Ravens really got my eye. Given that I was really high on the Chargers and watching
Yeah,
them, not even, I mean, Lamar was Lamar, but the story wasn't even Lamar that game. The Ravens defense just shut the Chargers right down, and that was so surprising to me. And I was just watching it, just waiting to see the Chargers figure it out and make it a game, and they couldn't do it. There
yeah.
was,
I don't know what to make of that one. I think that was one of those games where we just didn't have it, and the Chargers didn't have it from the jump.
Mhm.
I mean, they didn't have it from the jump. They kick a missed the extra point, um, but they only scored a game.
and he had
Um,
like 5 or 6 consecutive 3-and-outs.
exactly.
And for the high-powered offense that we was accustomed to seeing all season,
They was messing up on fourth and ones, on fourth and threes. They wasn't converting on those. So it's like that's one of those games when I watched it, I was like, you know what, the Chargers just didn't have it tonight. And sometimes like, it'd be like that. You don't have what it takes to win a game, and then you get down early, which they did. And that's it. The curtains off for that. But like you say, you got to credit the Ravens. The defense shut them out, and um, the Ravens also show you like they could win in multiple ways, like multiple different ways. Yeah, they could beat you with the run game. You know what I mean? They could beat you with uh, Lamar throwing, and now defensively, you see them just be able to get after those. So the Ravens was obviously still impressive, but the Chargers, like I said, I just chalk it up as one of those games.
Um,
Um,
well, I don't know that to me I was never high on the Chargers only because I feel like they a piece or two away. I do feel them as being a good team, but in my books, to be honest, they are at that level of the Cowboys right now. I see them making a run. I see them making a good stride into the playoffs, but I don't see them going deep in the AFC. Just like how you see they buck the Ravens, they detect the things you can buck when it comes to playoffs. You got the Ravens you can buck. You got probably the Browns. However, they decide to make that look. I don't know how good that is, but then you got the Bills. You got big teams. So it's like
You say the Chargers is the team you want to buck in the playoffs?
If I want to buck them in the playoffs,
Yeah.
definitely. Me
What,
personally,
what,
I would buck. I rather the Chargers than bucking the Bills. The like just certain teams like I feel like you could catch more unprepared. Just like
mm,
today, because they're so young, not just player wise, but even coaching wise, like because they're not as like mature when it comes to age and experience on that team. Even we look at players like Joey Bosa, we'd be like, oh yeah, he's a veteran. Joey Bosa ain't that old. Like you look at Keenan Allen, like okay, like these guys, that team isn't really a experienced team.
yeah.
So, like I said, they could be a young Cinderella team that can make the playoffs, but seeing them make the playoffs and getting there, especially this time because they haven't been there in so long, I don't see them making a deep run.
They have a high ceiling. But like that. They have a really high ceiling. Um, if everything clicking, some nights they look like the best team in the NFL. If everything clicking. But uh, sometimes it don't click, right? And you better as a as a child, if you're a Charger fan, you would hope that more often than not they don't run into nights like that because they won't be able to compete with anybody, much less the top teams like you say in the AFC. Now, when it comes to the teams in the AFC, like you say, you do have teams like the Bills who are more stable. Who you more or less what to expect from them as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even honestly, even though Kansas City hasn't been all that good, in a playoff matchup, I still may take Kansas City over them.
Of course, don't think
Um,
Kansas City can be bad all season. Eventually, their defense can catch up to their offense.
And
yeah,
then
I
to
mean,
Kansas City, like I say, is more of an experienced team. Well, they down, they getting beat. They can sit back and say, okay, what beating us? Let's figure it out. And that's what I was looking for with the Chargers, for them to just sit back and figure out what was stopping them, and they can figure it out. I would bet Kansas City would figure it out more than or easier than the Chargers would, given that they've been in that position multiple times. And
And
like
like
you
I
say, that
said,
goes with experience.
and it goes with experience and also longevity because with seasons, like you gotta rely. Look at certain teams. Okay, let's look at the Broncos. The Broncos started off 3-0. I told y'all they ain't play nobody. Now, since then, they 0-3. Then you got teams like Carolina. Carolina started off 3-0. Sam Darnold leading the league, top five in passing yards. Last three games, 0-3. Like you gotta realize that teams, even like what I told you with Jameis, 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week
Hmm.
on, 1 week off. If you don't have that consistency in your team, it's very hard to win championships in the NFL because it's one shaking you out. So you could come into the season. I watch it plenty times. You all is Peyton Manning fans and all that. I watch these fellas go 14-2 almost every season. Peyton Manning them go 14-2,
He's playing
13 and
man and
3.
win 5 MVPs,
And
man.
the second a man reached the playoffs, one bad game, you out. That time Tom Brady them going 10-6, 11-5 in an easy division, and dog making the Super Bowl. Like you'd be like, wait, what the hell? But that's just how the NFL setup is far different than basketball, where more than likely the better team or the more healthiest team in the NFL gonna win the championship rather than in football. But you could have a healthy team and that team could be down to their third string quarterback. But if they all come out hot tonight, like Fitzpatrick them, they'll blow your head right off.
But yeah, I know if y'all watching this game. Jesus.
Yeah, the Knicks is trash, but they can figure it out. But
The next ain't losing, the next up. I talking about the shot by Taylor Brown
yeah, they up now. But you see
from the
how far
logo.
up they was before. They get run down.
Oh no, I didn't see.
you don't worry about that. You don't worry about whether we get run down.
Jesus, this dude hit a shot from the logo to go with
But Jalen
Even
Brown
out all
was
game.
killing them all game. Dog got 20 in
Even
like
out
the
all
first
game.
in the
quarter.
first quarter. Yeah, I see.
Like
I
it's
have him
torture.
in, I have him in fantasy, so I don't even mind that.
And he was torching us in the first quarter, but I know he's doing it. Yeah, we'll see what happens of the um, Chargers come playoff time. Speaking of the Chiefs, before we segue into the NBA. What y'all thought about the Chiefs getting back on track, getting a good win against Washington? I mean, I think most of us, if we had a chance to pick, would have probably picked the Chiefs to win that game any which way. But it
Yeah.
was good to see them sort of find a rhythm in the second half. You know what I mean? I think Mahomes he still got to cut down on them interceptions. Um, but if you think about it, a lot of those interceptions are some really rare plays. Sometimes you talk about a lot of deflected, deflected balls or whatever. Maybe
But you
things
gotta
shake
be
his way
kidding me,
differently in the second half of the season. What's going on?
but
These niggas
Boston
could
just
lose.
bring the ball up the court in 4 seconds to hit a 3-pointer to 10 the game overtime, bro.
Man, these niggas could lose again.
Spike Lee looking like Spike Lee
Wait,
looking
what,
like
hold on, hold on. What you laughing for? You watched
God.
that game last night? Why
Yeah.
you laughing?
what?
Why I laughing? You
But
Why you
this is such
realize
an look at this play too. But I mean, like,
you realize I've seen my team won a championship in my lifetime, man.
Buddy, we ain't talking about your lifetime. This is the lifetime of football. We talking about why you laughing now. That's what we talking about.
I have championships like when Mother Tatum fall down and they still get this ball. Wait, y'all
but you
keep
see
kidding me.
but if that was drawn up, that was amazing. I don't even.
Of course that wasn't drawn up like that. That boy fall
It's,
down because Tatum was getting
Yeah,
hogged
John.
that ball.
you didn't get him with dribbling that?
What? Tatum was getting hogged that ball, boy. Only because he almost got out of bounds when he slipped down.
My God.
Damn, 5 for 22. But
Yeah, but I mean, we knew, or we expected. I can't say we knew. We expected them to get back on track at some point during the season. Uh, is it just a one-time showing, or are they back? You don't know yet. But
The difference with football is, like I tell people, it don't matter how great you are. That's why I keep telling you the level that Tom Brady's on and certain other levels are far beyond others because people can figure you out. Even if you're looking at Mahomes now, Mahomes is being figured out on defense. Guys are now setting certain players up in certain defense. And not to say that, okay, he's going to be garbage now. Mahomes is still going to be a good player. But all that 50 something touchdowns and only 5 interceptions thing, that done out the window. A lot of your players now, guys done study. A lot of your formations, guys done study. All of that little scoop passing, that little sidearm
you
passing,
make
all
the
that stuff,
scoop pass.
these stuff are turning into interceptions now because fellas them baiting you into it. Because if I don't read your tendencies, come on, we play ball. If I know certain guys them don't like dribble with their left hand, I can bait you into putting that ball in your left hand. Because the second I go in the left hand, I come in to steal that. Because I know that left hand weak. So I can sit on your right side and
and wait
force
for
you to
you
put
to
that ball in your left hand.
wait
And
for
the
you to try to
second
put
I
it back
touch
to the
that
right.
left hand, I gone. So with Holmes, it's like, okay, he likes to roll to his right. And then once he rolls to his right, he likes to throw them 50-50 balls. So let's try to get him rolling to the right, contain him from crossing the line of scrimmage. And at least with a 50-50 ball, we have a shot. So not to say that they figure him out to the point to where he's not going to be effective, but he's not going to be that, head and shoulders above guys
Yeah.
uh, going forward, especially against good defense and especially in the playoffs. You saw what they did them in the Super Bowl. They was waiting for him to come with that pocket. And boy, fellas, them was laying him right out on the side there, boy. Them linebackers couldn't wait for him to roll out that pocket. So
yeah, it for Mahomes, like you say, I don't say they figure him out, but people, like you say, people study your tendencies, people study what you like to do, and we see, like I say, they don't really even really blitz dog no more. They put two safeties deep in the back there, and they try to limit those long plays. Whenever there's some sort of magic to your game, people are always going to try to figure out a way to stop it, right? So if you looked at Mahomes during his peak the last few years, and I don't make it seem like he stopped getting better, but during his peak the last few years, his game is very difficult to figure out for defenses. So now defenses are going to spend, or teams are going to spend all off season trying to figure out how they can stop you, how they can limit the magic to whatever it is that you're doing. And once they find a formula, they can hammer in on it. You know. So now Mahomes is a great player. He has to now adjust his game. He has to now make slightly better decisions now. Um, and like I say, they had a great win, but he still has to cut down on his interceptions. They could lead to big plays for the other team, depending on who he plays. So are they back on track? I wouldn't say they're back on track yet, but I saw some good things in the second half to make me believe they can still make some noise the rest of the season. But it's game
AOT.
awesome.
Yeah, this game is hard.
Wait, Jalen Bragg Achilles. But yeah, I mean, like I say, right now the NFL, I saw some low, what you call it, low key news today. I saw them said the Dolphins are interested in trying to get Deshaun Watson.
They say
Um,
that my trade may happen as early as this week.
my thing is, I don't know. I gotta look into it more because I don't think he is not playing because the NFL suspended or anything. I think he's not playing because Houston just keep him inactive. So I
Right.
think even
Yeah.
though he's under investigation, if he is traded, he could
He
actually
could play.
start suiting up.
I was trying to look it up too, but I didn't see enough information
Yeah,
because
because
I wanted
there's
to pick him
nothing
up.
that says he's out of the league or he's suspended. He's just under investigation and he has
No,
cases against him.
like
So my
Fournier.
thing is,
I just want to say Fournier and well, 3 for 3 from three in overtime.
Fournier trash though, but they just letting it go.
He ain't
Just
trash.
a
But
revenge, just a revenge game for him because he was just on Boston.
yeah, he trash.
That's it, exactly.
But
That man the one.
the thing
But
is,
but the thing even if he is traded, I don't think Miami would play him
I
because
mean, they don't have no choice because they trash too.
Why wouldn't they play him?
but it's a bad like I think it's more of a it's more of a social aspect thing where you don't want to play a player that's being accused of what he's accused of because the fans and the
Big man, listen.
like that is
Robert
be a big
Kraft,
thing.
Robert Kraft still out here friggin' owning the Patriots. Like, big man is whoever you play for. If you see Deshaun wants to go to the Patriots, Deshaun Watson will play tomorrow, and all his cases will get dropped next week, and he'd
You
be
think
the
so?
same. Wait, what happened to the Robert Kraft case?
Oh, guy with a billionaire. That's kind
All
of
right
different.
then.
He's a billionaire and he white. That's the difference.
Exactly.
He's a
Come on, man.
billionaire and he white.
Y'all
So
still running that talk? Man, come on, man. It's 2021. If you still think because you white and you black, you can't have the same opportunities, yeah, making no sense. Come on, man.
who got the opportunity to be on an NFL team?
Huh?
How much of them?
How much
How
what?
much black people have how much black people have an opportunity to own an NFL team?
But owning an NFL team is just based on money. The problem is,
All right.
you don't think Jay Z could go right now and own an NFL team?
Jay-Z is probably the only black person you know that probably could own an
The
NFL team.
only black person, y'all gotta stop. Y'all
Who else?
got
Who else?
No,
y'all
but
Call
still
another
like
name.
niggas.
you trying to compare
Call another name.
Robert Kraft's shoe to Deshaun Watson's shoe, and I
Deshaun
don't think
Watson.
that's
They ain't
going.
in the same class. They ain't in the same class.
No,
They ain't
they
in
ain't
the
the
same
same
class
class.
whatsoever.
Robert Kraft
You understand how
got
much
caught
you
in
understand how much
in
money
a.
$1 billion is?
But no, I ain't even talking about how much they worth. Like what Robert Kraft got caught doing. He got caught with a sex worker, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Caught.
Deshaun Watson,
He got caught. The Deshaun Watson never got caught doing anything. The
right,
Deshaun Watson has allegations against him
right.
with females who
And I
have
think if
zero evidence.
right, and I
So
think if
who's
it
actually
was,
worse?
but you can't say zero evidence because if it was zero
I
evidence,
would say
then it wouldn't even
I
be a
wouldn't say
case,
zero evidence.
I mean,
I
you
wouldn't
right?
say
could
zero
you
evidence.
could put a case against someone with zero evidence. That's why
But
you
my
I
get
wouldn't
caught.
say zero evidence.
my
I
thing
mean the
is you
allegations
only get
really ain't
caught
that
with no
wild.
evidence.
Yes, you can because you have a case. They have to prove.
But there has to be something for you to say, okay, we can take this to court.
Yes, the something is the allegation. If I
No,
got, I'm telling you, that's how it is. If someone puts an allegation against you, take it little like right now. You could be on this podcast right now, and the police could come to your door and say, "Hey, your girl just called and say you slap her," and but you gone. You
I
can take a
know,
look
no,
at
no,
her
no,
and look
no.
at her face and look at her and say,
I'm
"Oh,
gonna get arrested, and I'm gonna go
yes,"
to jail.
and
But it's
she
not
could
gonna
press
go.
charges.
But it's not gonna go to court if there's zero evidence.
Once she press charges, you have to go to court to prove that there's zero evidence
And the point is,
because she's pressing charges.
the fact that it's 22
These are
civil,
lawsuits, you know.
yeah, civil
These
cases,
are civil
Yeah.
suits.
lawsuits.
Yeah,
22.
that's the key.
Hmm.
It's less about the criminal aspect and more about the social aspect. Like I say, it's all about uh the kind of player that what the NFL supports or what the team supports or what the
But
team is encouraging. That's not going to
it ain't
happen
really
in
no. It
2021.
ain't. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing. It's not really a criminal aspect at all. Like nothing he did was technically illegal. It's just harassment, right? So it's all of these are like you say civil suits. So now it's not really the court of law; it's the court of public opinion.
You
So
realize that the only reason these civil suits are still pending is because he doesn't want to settle. All of these females already
Hmm.
said that they will settle out of court. He said that no, I'm going to court because y'all have zero evidence and I'm going to prove myself innocent. I'm willing to sit out the season to prove myself innocent.
Yeah,
That don't sound
because
like a guilty man to me. You got all
no,
this
no,
money.
that is not.
I'd say,
that
listen,
that don't prove
Stop it!
nothing.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
That don't
That's
prove
not
that
like a
he's
smart dude.
that,
exactly
That's not a
that
because
smart
don't make
dude. He know
sense.
you don't have no
but
evidence on
even
him.
if because even if you settle, that still lingers with you. That label still lingers with you, and he's a
How?
public figure. You don't
No
want that
one
label changed
cares,
out.
bro. No one cares. Stop making it seem like this, like that, bro. The sports world,
Well,
the entertainment world is very, very, very short sighted. Y'all forget
you
like
know how much.
all them guys like Kobe them when there's in all this drama. Once you settle out the court, people be like the first month, oh yeah, he's wrong, and yeah, he know he get a girl $5 million,
Like,
whatever. 2 months later,
you know how much.
he's a beast.
You know how much innocent people settle out of court. Settling out of court don't
So
really mean nothing. You know.
what happened to Ben Roethlisberger last offseason?
I
Didn't he
said, you
had
know how much
almost
innocent.
the same cases against him? Or y'all forget
But
about that? You see how
no,
quick y'all
No,
forget about
but the thing
you're
is,
missing the point. I said, you know how much innocent people settle out of court. Settling does not prove anything. All settling does, for the most part, is say, I don't want to go through all of that.
I'm
Right?
wasting my time.
Now, yeah. Now, for was it Deshaun Watson to say, hey, I selling this sort of Deshaun Watson to say I ain't selling, I fighting the court. It proves to him. I don't mean that he ain't guilty. That just means he don't believe you all have evidence on him, which I don't think they have enough evidence on him for real.
I don't think either.
Um, but I mean, if you showing up to like 22, 20 to 25 different massage places, that is a little weird. That's all I'd say. That's not something normal. So that's all I'd say.
I mean, this
You know
is
what
the
I mean?
city of Houston, by the way.
Yeah. So uh, how we get on that topic? Honestly, how we get on that topic? Oh, flicking
That's
Lord.
because y'all don't want
You
the
because
want
you
light
to
to
say,
saying
shine, man.
because Lope is saying that Watson may actually play if and when he gets in Miami this
"Why
season.
the freak was scaring the next overtime, bro? What a sick man.
It's like it's trash, bro. But yeah. See, I tell you, Tatum was getting hot. Y'all don't listen. Think Tatum come here and need to pass any ball. Dog ain't do
But
nothing all game. Jalen Brown been running the show all game. He won't come here shooting last shot. Gotta be crazy.
Uh, well, seeing as we on the NBA now, let's talk NBA. We got it's the second night. Second night.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
man. This has been a we had a
Yeah,
fun opening night.
let's get to the NBA, youth, y'all. Cause some of y'all is scared like Dolphin fans when it comes to NBA. I already put the Nexus the Dolphins in the NBA, but
We ain't done with the NBA, but we made the playoffs last year. You know
ooh, you
that.
hear
If
that?
anything, we the
You
if
hear
anything,
that what you call that?
if anything, we the
Moral
Cowboys
victory.
NBA. He's the
Wow,
Cowboys NBA.
dog say he's
That's it.
the Cowboys.
He's the most vibrant franchise. What you expect? He's the Cowboys NBA.
You right, because
Most
I
vibrant.
did the Cowboys winning about 30 years neither. So y'all in the Cowboys were in the same boat for true.
Yeah, man. He's the Cowboys NBA. I'll take that.
On a
I'll
flip,
take that. At least the Cowboys MVP.
Cowboys. Wow. But yeah,
Uh,
we had some. Let me go back to last night. We had two games last night.
two good games
Uh,
last night.
we had a good game and a trash game.
Which was a trash
First
game?
game we had, what is it, Raptors and Wizards. Uh, I mean, I told people like I feel Kuzma's gonna have All Star season. Even
Don't
if
run
he's
him.
an All Star,
Don't
What's
run him.
deserved.
I
Kuzma
think
will
he
have
have a
All Star.
I think he could have a good season. All star.
Run
If
him.
you watched that
All
game
stars.
last
Don't run
night,
him.
Kuzma had 24 points, 8 for 12 shooting from the field goal, and 6 for 8 from 3-point line. The difference with Kuzma
Great
is
finish.
here, he is more free in this
Yeah, but
offense,
we
but
know.
he's still not a number one because Bradley Beal is still your star. So
Hmm.
now you could roam as in that second guy role where I could shoot up all the ball and y'all still, when we lose, we put it on Bradley. But when we
Yeah.
win, we could say, oh, well, I help. So
Kuzma
it's
is number.
like,
Great. And
Jesus,
they ain't gonna win
Jordan, you're
much.
missing. Kuzma is number
of
They
two.
course
ain't,
not. You say what?
no, I'd
Kuzma's
say
number two?
Kuzma
I'd
is
say
number
Spencer
two.
Dinwiddie's number two. I'd say Dinwiddie's number two.
Spencer, what?
Well, you got Spence over him, and I put the Japanese boy over him too.
Not dead
Hold on,
Hachimura.
don't say that.
Yes,
Hey, please
Hachimura.
stop. But Hachimura is
But
pure
Hachimura better
garbage.
than them though. Hachimura
Never.
better than them.
At no point in time
Hachimura
in
better than them.
Hachimura career, he wasn't even good in college. That boy made the NBA just off of hype, just off of getting killed from Zion.
Kuzma is a starter.
If what?
Kuzma starting in Washington.
Who started last night? Like I said, that was a trash game. I didn't watch that.
Listen,
Kuzma should be starting,
we talk
but
we talking about that game for man. We got Brooklyn and Milwaukee, and we got
oh
Lakers
yeah, I
and
forget the
Warriors.
Brooklyn. Why I didn't even see Brooklyn and Milwaukee in this? They didn't even show me Brooklyn and
Brooklyn and
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Brooklyn and Milwaukee first. Right? What y'all thought about that game? My first impression from that game, of course, it's early in the season. My first impression is the Nets can miss Kyrie. Um,
Mm.
That's
they
obvious.
don't put nearly enough pressure on the rim. KD, as great of a player as he is, and he is a all-time player, top two in the NBA. He is okay. He's comfortable with just dissecting you from the outside the entire game. Um, James Harden, he had a good game yesterday, but he still wasn't putting enough pressure like to the basket. Like who will be able to put pressure and get the other guys easy shots? Not to say that Kyrie was a passer or nothing like that, but he was consistently putting pressure on the defense. So that's an interesting thing to watch. Patty Mills looked like a good pickup though. So
Yeah, Patty Mills was definitely the best pickup they had of the offseason.
yeah, yeah, he
Easily.
looked like a really, really good pickup.
Patty Mills
Um,
is a good fit there.
Mother said, yo,
Wait. Trash cans, boy. Trash cans. But yeah. The problem
um,
with like I say, I don't feel no sorry for Brooklyn. And I don't feel like these beginning games don't face me at all. Like guys ain't even into, I wouldn't even say first gear yet. So at the end of the day, if people, I don't count real games until like after New Year's, because even Christmas game is where you start to like take that real, okay, let's look at where we at now. If you ain't seeing yourself doing nothing by Christmas and New Year's, then you could say, okay, it's time to either write the ship off or do something different. But right now, especially in the first start of the season, you can have certain teams doing almost anything.
yeah, I agree. I wouldn't go as far as to say Christmas, but definitely home openers, first game to the season. Definitely, you don't analyze them too much.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
emotional
you don't
games.
you don't put too much stock into it. You just see what team because at the end of the day, this is a long season, like I always tell people, and you have to figure out what you need to work on versus what you you know don't
yeah,
need to. So you don't put too much stock in the first games.
Especially big
We're not
teams. Like big teams know big teams. Like certain other teams, if you use them middle of the park teams like Chicago Bulls who just getting good or these dead Knicks and stuff, like you gotta start off hot. because you can know it could be a time in the season where you can look like trash. So you
Right.
gotta start off hot to get a lead. But when
But
you see
I
Brooklyn them warm up, Milwaukee warm up, Miami warm up, like, but you ain't gonna see these teams regardless, bro.
yeah, and I feel like with new teams, teams that are have brand new pieces like Chicago, those teams you can analyze quicker
Yeah,
than championship teams like Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Like so, someone like Chicago, we starting to analyze first, second, third week. You watching to see how they fit, to see how they match. But teams that like Milwaukee, who just won the championship, even if they did lose, I wasn't even watching that game. Brooklyn,
yeah.
who is a championship
Yeah,
contender, but these new teams that just come together, we watching to see how they work and see how they figuring things out and see how they coming
yeah.
together.
I think the biggest thing is you always have to watch how the additions play. You know,
Right.
especially when you say, like you say, experienced teams. Experienced teams, you know how their players are going to play, but you always got to watch how the new additions play. So speaking of their teams, the Lakers played last night. Lakers played last night, and they get their head burst off. Um, what did y'all think
Obviously,
about
obviously, you cable off because you couldn't watch that game.
what y'all think about the Lakers? How did they look last night? What y'all thought
uh,
about how they look?
the first story, the first thing we gotta mention is you think this guy got a bucket. The first thing we gotta mention is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, the Lakers look like the Lakers haven't. I haven't seen nothing to be worried about. AD look good,
You haven't
healthy.
seen nothing to be worried about.
That's why
No,
he
why?
watching a 1995 game.
What is there to be worried
Let me
about,
tell you,
though?
let me tell you something. If you a Laker fan and you ain't worried, that means you have the belief that Russell Westbrook ain't gonna be in your team
I
much
will
longer.
never, in
Must
ever,
Must
I
nah.
never take any
That's the
advice
only.
from a New York Knicks fan. Never
Okay,
in my whole
okay, all right.
fanhood
You can stop now.
ever
If you're a Laker fan and
will
you
take
don't
advice.
believe that something wrong, then you have the belief that Russell Westbrook will no longer be on your team for the foreseeable future. Anyone with common sense can look at that team and know that ain't gonna work. Anyone with common sense can see that. Uh
Why it's not gonna work?
that's not gonna work.
Ooh, Tatum to Tatum to kill these niggas. Why?
Uh because Russ can't play without the ball. And in order for the Lakers to be the best version of themselves, LeBron needs the basketball in his hands.
I
So
mean, LeBron scored 30 last night. Didn't really have the
yes,
ball
but
in his
in order,
hand too much.
I said, in order for the Lakers to be the best version of themselves, LeBron needs the ball in his hands. Can LeBron score without the ball? He can. In order for the Lakers to be the best version of themselves, LeBron needs the ball in his hands. He needs to be the main playmaker. If Westbrook needs to be the main playmaker to be effective, that's not going to work. Now, part of it is on Vogel. We're playing a lot of dumb lineups. I don't know why you would play Rondo and Russ together. That doesn't make too much sense to me. I don't know why you would play Russ, LeBron, and DeAndre Jordan together. That don't make too much sense to me. I think with Russ, you need to give him as much space as possible to do his thing
You
without having to
mean
look over his shoulder.
the lineup I told y'all he was gonna put on the court and y'all run on? When I told y'all he's gonna put Rondo at the one and put Russell at the two, this is a part of coaching. You gotta realize y'all just make it sound so easy sitting behind these cameras. A coach have to make these mistakes in order to be get. That's life. Dog, you can't just do these things in practice when fellas jogging up and down the court. You have to go in a real game and say, "Boy, let me test this out." Because that's the only way you know how to work. That analytics crap saying, "Oh, it's a 50%." Well,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. But let me see it though. Let me put it on, and then if it don't work, this is your part. You know why I say that I don't see nothing to concern from? This is based on coaching. Now all you do is you you could start rushing him and you could start him with the rest of them, but you offset minutes. So now either you take LeBron out early in the first and let Russ run the full first quarter, or you take Russ out early in the first and you let I mean you take you put them on the second unit, probably Russ more, who could go on the second unit more when you sub LeBron and AD out, and he could do damage with Dwight Howard,
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony, Malik Monk, Beasmore, whoever else there. And the first you put more when you bring the subs back in. You say you bring LeBron and AD back in. You put Rondo in with them.
And
So that's where you have 24-hour firepower. You don't have no
right.
slunk on the court.
But that's cute isn't during the season. But when you're in the playoffs and AD and LeBron playing 32, 35 minutes, what you could do with Westbrook?
By that time,
Right.
you should figure out what
West,
you can
by
figure
the
out by
time
that time.
Westbrook didn't get traded.
Uh-uh.
By the time he could be
I
gone.
don't.
Right.
If y'all
Listen,
think
I don't
Westbrook
need a
getting traded, it wouldn't make sense.
I don't need a calculator to figure out
Who's gonna trade
that
for Westbrook?
Rondo and Russ ain't gonna work out on the court. I don't need a analytics to figure out Rondo and Russ together ain't make no sense. I don't think no one need that.
Remember, but
Right?
remember what I told you? I said every year there's a team that tries to defy what we know as basketball common sense.
Every year.
Exactly.
Every year. So when you talk about coaching, I watch coaches make dumb decisions every year. And a lot of times they are very obvious to the people who watch. Very obvious. Right? So when Russ went to Houston, a million of us said that's never going to work. And we didn't, and we watched it and it did not work.
Yeah.
Russ to LA now, I don't need a calculator to tell you that ain't gonna work. I don't even need to see them play a minute together, him and LeBron, to tell you that ain't gonna work. We watch their play styles, we know what can and can't work. You know that. So again, if you're a Lakers fan, I'm not telling you not to feel confident. You probably should feel confident because you have LeBron and AD. If you all have them too, y'all should be the top of the West. But your confidence has to be based on the fact that you don't believe Russell Westbrook will play a big role in terms of him playing together with them dudes. Because it's nowhere in our current roster that he can play a big role with them dudes. Now, if they get a little bit more shooting, maybe. Ellington's still injured. You know what I mean? He coming back. Ariza injured. He coming back. So they get a little bit more shooting. Maybe it looks a little bit better. But I have never seen Russell Westbrook play good without the ball in his arms. So I don't expect this to be the first time this happens.
Yeah, like I say, I don't have nothing to worry about. As far as I'm concerned, I rather have rich people problems than poor people problems. I rather have three superstars who I trying to figure out where I can put them than have zero superstars and be trying to put together a bunch of role players to scrap into the playoffs. I ain't into that. So at the end of the day, like I say, I ain't feel too bad or I ain't too worried because my thing is, I feel they can work it out. At some way, somehow, someone is gonna have to make a sacrifice. We understand that. We watched this since LeBron been doing this. When he went to Miami, someone had to make a sacrifice. When he went back to Cleveland, y'all basically killed Kevin Love's career from being one of the best power forwards in the NBA. Then he comes to LA. Like the ship out a whole by Magic Johnson built that team with his own two hands, and the man ship out every single person, literally.
Right,
So
Magic
it's
is trying to
like,
ship them out too.
Did they win a championship?
who?
The team when LeBron shipped out everybody, did they win a championship?
Yeah.
When LeBron,
why you acting like Magic wasn't trying to ship them out too?
when LeBron just basically destroyed Kevin Love's career, did they win a championship?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So was it worth it?
No. The only person it was worth to was LeBron.
Was the organization?
You think
Exactly.
You think Kevin Love would have,
so you think me as a player, I want to kill myself and kill my career for the organization to put a trophy in their trophy box?
And you think Kevin Love would have had a ring otherwise?
You think Kevin Love
would have been making about 300 mil right now, though. I can't. You think I care with any ring? Here they go.
You see Kevin Love contract? Kevin Love still making a bunch of money, right?
In Cleveland.
Right.
You think he enjoying himself?
He wash up. He wash up now.
Exactly.
So that wash up was covered with or without LeBron.
No.
And now at least you have a ring to show for it. That's coming with or without LeBron. And now you have a ring. At least you have a
Kevin
ring
Love
to show for that.
Top 2, top 3 power forwards in the league at that point in time.
You could argue he was the best power forward. But I'm saying,
yeah,
the wash up was coming with or without
that
LeBron.
Man. I think Minnesota would have get up by the super bag if they holding on to Karl Anthony Towns this long, and he ain't want Gary, and he ain't even doing what what Love was doing at that point in time in his career. But Love with a boy, listen, oof, I
I
wasn't
agree.
going.
Listen,
I
what that
agree.
Minnesota would give him that back? Yeah, of course, Minnesota would give him
He'd
that
have
back.
done had two supermax by now. No, for true, he's gonna get a supermax that summer, and then after about the fourth year, he's gonna get another supermax, and wait, that would have just been it.
No, but I'm saying even with Love, how long his prime has lasted? Love prime ain't really last that long. He was
Agree.
good for
But maybe, but
LeBron.
like on Lowe's, and what Lowe trying to say
LeBron
is
Kelly,
maybe his prime didn't last
and
because of LeBron.
don't forget it ain't just LeBron now, cause Kyrie,
Hold on now.
Kyrie ain't getting love neither. You got to deal with LeBron hogging the ball on one side, and then want to give it to you at the end, and then you got Kyrie on the next side. I don't even want to give it to you at all. But what you want me to do?
Nah, I listen. I ain't saying LeBron ain't killed his stats because LeBron obviously killed his stats. LeBron killed Bosh stats. LeBron killed his stats. We know that. That's well
This
documented.
was the first
I'm
team
saying
LeBron went on, and he actually handed the keys over to another number one, and that's why Anthony Davis stats hasn't declined
Yeah,
as
that's
and
much.
the
that,
thing.
that's
That's the
because of
thing,
LeBron age.
and that's the next key point. They don't have a third star. LeBron has no problem. LeBron could play with another star, and all two of them could eat. When you bring that third star in there, that's when things start to get dicey. Because again, LeBron requires the ball in his hands. So with Anthony Davis can play without the ball, with the ball, get garbage points. It don't really matter. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis is a very low maintenance star player. He ain't complaining for touches and none of that stuff. He can go out and before you know it, he got 25 and 10. That's AD.
My thing is,
Now,
I feel Anthony Davis mentality is more of a problem than Westbrook's mentality on
His
this
laid
team.
back mentality. Yeah,
No,
his laid back.
the fact that Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the five is more of a problem than me getting Westbrook. If you watched that game last night, Westbrook didn't even shoot as much as he wanted to. This must be the lowest I ever see Westbrook shoot
Yeah,
in years. So that
you know,
means he's actually
his,
making a conscious effort to
because we
say,
know he wanted to shoot 50.
let me try and fit in. Whereas AD want to be a 6'11" gal and say, but I don't want to play center. That's too much banging. I want to play power forward. Bro, we need you to play center.
Yeah, but
We
as
can
a,
spread the floor. If you
but
put LeBron, Westbrook, AD, Carmelo, and any shooter in there, Monk, Bazemore, that five right there is almost the best five in the NBA right there.
right, but
as what you tell you said Carmelo. Well, you right. As what you tell you
is
said
it
Carmelo.
Melo at the four.
As
but
what you tell you said Carmelo.
Anyway, I am using the fan.
but there's a reason. There's a reason 80 don't want to play the five though. Like even you call him Glass Ball Davis.
Ain't
80,
no good reason for that.
yeah, he's not. 80 can't bind. 80 is not.
What percentage of centers is buying in the NBA?
Yeah, who we banging with? That's my thing. Who you banging?
Embiid, maybe Jokic.
No,
That's it.
banging, even banging for rebounds, he can't do that. He's
So what you was a big man for? You 6'11"?
Yeah,
yeah,
he don't
he's
want to
You
do
over
that.
7 foot?
okay.
Don't
So
say
He's
he
a big
can't.
man for.
KD 6'11", put KD at the five, do that.
No. The
What?
difference is
What's the
Kid like
difference?
250 pounds though.
exactly.
And
80 is
80 less durable than KD.
Yeah,
The
but
dude is
80 is
not
adequate.
durable. He is not a
No, but
physical player.
okay, granted. I hear you right, but watch this. Has his injury prevention plan been working out for him lately?
exactly. But he come out there and play
You might
ball,
as well
bro.
try something different.
To
My
make it
thing
worse,
is,
jump in the
you
fire.
playing you playing at power forward, he ain't make you no more durable neither. You still get mentioned at power forward. You might as well
His
yeah.
prevention plan ain't working. Whatever plan he think he have, it ain't working. I agree with the 80 center thing because I feel as if, as I told y'all before, DeAndre Jordan is washed. And I've been telling y'all this. He was on a contender. The contender let him go. The contender ain't have no bigs.
First of
And they
all,
say, you know what?
he was making
We better
24
off
million
without
on
that
a
big.
contender. I would let him go too.
Listen, they say we better off without this nigga. We ain't got no centers, but we can make it very simple.
Yeah, but they
That's what
didn't
they
did
were
it
saying.
because his level of playing now. Stop it.
What they do it for?
The man was making 24 on the bench. Why would I pay him 24 to sit on the bench? I had
So
to
watch
cut
this.
him. But look who they signed.
So who's
You think
starting for him?
Exactly my point. He was
Say what?
making 24 on the bench. He
Say
was
what?
making 24 million and not playing. You said my point exactly.
Who's Brooklyn
So if a
starting center?
contender,
Well, they
Brooklyn,
got Blake Griffin.
they Blake
Starting
Griffin was starting
center.
right in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's playing.
Yeah,
He's playing center.
in the playoffs, Blake Griffin
But
was
don't
starting right.
forget, they only pay like 2 million for Blake. I
No,
ain't
but
saying
you making my point.
how.
They 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 paid him 24 million to sit on the bench.
Yeah, but
So
they ain't saying you dead enough not to make our team. They saying you just ain't
they
good
saying
enough
you
to make our
dead.
starting lineup.
No, you dead off the play. He wasn't playing in the playoffs at all. He was healthy enough. He wasn't playing in the playoffs at all. They say you dead enough to not even play, despite being our biggest player. He's the tallest player of the team. He wasn't playing. So Lakers fans convinced me, or try to convince me, that just because he ain't playing in Brooklyn, don't mean he can't play for us.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
So
cause everything I keep telling you, these guys are not like us. These guys are millionaires. These guys have their own career path in their hands. They are not like us who actually have to go to a job and ask them to hire us. Their job come to them and say, "Hey, we want you here." So don't forget now. He might have said too, "Big man, if I ain't starting, I ain't playing. Don't bring me off no bench." Don't make it seem
wait,
like he couldn't have said
You
that.
think he would have said
okay,
that on a championship team?
What championship game?
no, but Grillen, as the best part, Grillen,
Okay.
they
I
trade,
mean,
they trade Jared, Grillen, they trade Jared Allen so this dude could start. Jared Allen was taking up the starting spot. They traded Jared Allen so this dude could start, and he still couldn't even win that starting spot.
they traded Jared Allen because Jared Allen was up for a contract extension. They didn't have
Yeah,
no money. How
they
could
had to
you
pay
want me
him.
re-sign Jared Allen and
They,
then got to pay Kyrie, KD,
and
DeAndre
I had to have
Jordan,
extension
and then
too.
you got to
Yeah,
try and get Harden?
yeah. They couldn't pay Allen, so they trade him.
Some teams
But
just
They
don't want
could
to
pay
let
him.
go to all their players. Some fellas just want
They
literally just they
they
can't pay
didn't
him.
want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him. It's not
Who
that they couldn't
Jared?
pay him. They could go over the cap to pay him.
yeah, that's always the case. When
For
we
who?
say
For
couldn't, they
Jared?
still be on
They,
game.
they yeah, they could go over the cap to pay him.
But
But
then
the
how would
point
you get
is,
Harden? You had to trade Jared to
they
get
trade.
Harden. He was in the Harden trade. He was one part of the tree team.
He was part of
Oh, that
Harden
was a three
trade.
team.
Yeah, he was
That
part
was
of
a
the
three
tree
team.
team.
Levert, Levert went to Houston.
Actually, 4
So what?
team.
Cleveland got Jared Allen. Levert went to Houston.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because it was Cleveland, Indiana, Houston, and Brooklyn. Remember, they put it all together so the salaries could match.
I can't
But
remember the trade right now.
I
But
don't
you
even
probably right.
think I don't think he's the best center on. I think he's playing. I think he's starting
I don't,
because you have
I don't
AD
know what
and
Cleveland's be
LeBron
doing.
and Westbrook
Cleveland's
there. I don't think he's a better center than Dwight Howard,
who
He's not better center than Dwight.
DeAndre
DJ.
Jordan.
at this point, no.
He's not better center than Dwight.
At
I
what
mean,
point?
Um,
at
At what point? At what point was he? He was
probably like
never better.
2012 when Howard was there the first time since seeing round. Kobe
Howard
gonna
was still
punch him
good.
in him out. DeAndre Jordan was catching bodies, boy. I ain't gonna lie, boy. I ain't
That's
gonna
it.
lie. He had one
And
good season, boy.
that's Chris Paul making him look good. That ain't.
He had one good season, and Dwight Howard had that one bad season, so that offset right there.
But yeah,
but
I think that's more so just okay. He's a big guy. You just need a big body on what our starters. I think the better center will be on the bench playing with who I think would be Westbrook
I
and the
think I think they like
reserves.
the yeah I think they like the dynamic with Dwight Howard off the bench because Dwight Howard has really imposed his will on second units. So I think they like that dynamic. Um, Dwight Howard has really feast on bench units. Um, but like I say it could be Vogel. Vogel have to make his money this lot because his lineups will determine a lot of this team's success. He got to really get creative with his lineups. Um, obviously, you can't. I see someone on ESPN talk today about you would consider bringing Russ off the bench. You can't do that.
No,
You
I
would
don't.
lose the team. You would lose the team immediately. You can't do that. So your only thing is you have to stagger the lineups to where Russ plays most of his time with
But the
one
reserves.
big, one big, and just and some guys who want to spot up and shoot. Um,
See, but
And
for me, during the season, ain't it's not going to be a problem though. Like, listen, LeBron don't even want to play during the season anyway. Give me 20 minutes. I don't care.
it ain't gonna be a huge. It ain't gonna be a huge problem during the season. They'll
That's
do
why
enough
I
to get
tell
to the
you,
playoffs.
I'm worried because to me, all I see right now is a lineup issue. The quicker they fix the lineup issue, the quicker the Lakers start winning. But like you say, the problem is gonna be the playoffs. But the difference is when you get in the playoffs, guys will play up to certain standard, and guys will feed off each other. So my thing is when they get in the playoffs, it all depends on matchup. The only point guard or the only guard I could see really giving Westbrook fits in the playoff is the same person we played last night. Besides Steph, I think Westbrook can match up fairly well with any other point guard in the West
You don't think
based
Dame
on
could give him the
skill
business?
set. Skill set wise, they pretty with Westbrook defense and Dame offense. Because Dame doesn't shoot as much, he looks to be a slasher. Westbrook is very good and athletic on cutting the drive. So if you turn Dame into just a shooter, he is neutralized. But you can't turn Steph into just a shooter because Steph is just a shooter. So it's like
But
you actually feeding into his game
I
when
you
you
don't
watch
play
think
that.
so.
against him.
You watch that OKC Fallen series a couple years back. You watch that.
I
You
don't.
realize that that was Paul George on it.
Wait,
Both of them was on. You
all of
have
them was
you
on
could
him.
go on YouTube and have a whole clip of Westbrook
Yeah,
and Dame going back and forth with each other, and Dame has been every time.
Yeah, but who
yeah,
does
and
who
they
then
wasn't really
who's
even
number
going
two?
back and forth.
That's the part I talking about. Actually, y'all want one on ones. I talking about in the playoffs now. If the Lakers buck Portland in the first round, okay. If Dame win that matchup, then
Yeah,
what?
you
Who's
ain't got to
number
worry
two?
about. You don't got to worry about Portland winning. No,
Who
but
who guiding
you
AD?
talking.
No, Portland don't have no chance of winning a
Who
matchup.
But
guiding
we
LeBron?
mentioned the fact that Westbrook could match up with any point guard in the West,
Yeah.
and his
I
nightmare,
said
his
his hardest matchup would be Steph. Other than Steph, I feel like he could match up
Well,
pretty
listen,
much with any other
the
thing.
matchup is irrelevant because Lakers have better top end talent at the end of
right.
the day, right?
I
So
agree.
Russ in any event is always going to be at best the third best player,
And then
right?
can't nobody kill Russ in any event. No one is gonna no one has the skill level to expose him to the point where they gotta say, "But Russ, you can't hold him. Let's take you off the
Except
court."
for Steph.
I don't even.
But Steph could go off on Russ just because of the way he moves around and he just shoots quick. Steph
Yeah,
could
but
literally drop 40, 50 on you. Not to say he
right,
can
but it
break
ain't
you
a
down.
Steph could drop 40 50, but it ain't gonna be on one person because
Yeah,
Steph
it
is
ain't
not
gonna be
around.
him breaking you down one on one. If
No,
that's
but
your
I mean,
matchup.
if you're his main defender and you
Exactly.
just take your eyes
That's
off
still
him for a
your
couple
matchup.
seconds, then it could be on you. It could be on you because you caused the whole defensive breakdown.
Could
But
Phoenix beat the Lakers?
No, they ain't big enough.
Okay.
if I said last year, if Phoenix was if AD was healthy, Phoenix is gonna lose. If AD
Yeah,
was
no.
healthy,
But and I keep saying there's two players Phoenix couldn't hold all season and even playoffs. AD and Giannis. And they, just big guys that could move. Phoenix had no answer for that.
Is Denver beating the Lakers?
That's
that was my
probably
dark horse team.
that's probably the best chance to beat the Lakers in the West.
Yeah, if Murray
Really?
comes back, yeah,
Denver.
I think so. I think so. If Murray comes back healthy, I get him a puncher's chance.
I think
No,
because of matchups. I don't even think Denver is better than Phoenix, but I think Denver
I
matches
just
up
gonna
with the
say
Lakers.
I
They're not better than Phoenix,
I
but they match up with the Lakers
I
better
don't
than
understand that.
Phoenix match up with the Lakers.
I think a healthy Denver is better than Phoenix.
I don't
I
see it.
mean, I watching this game right now, and Phoenix, Phoenix watching them right now.
Well,
Murray play? Murray play?
they ain't got no big boys.
I looking I know
The
because this
score
is
is
the second quarter, so he
26-23,
might
man.
be on the bench.
So it's 26-23 Denver. So I know this nigga right around
No,
there.
Denver down.
Uh,
This place say 26-23. Wait, what type of dial up you want?
45,
let me
36
refresh.
Phoenix. But no,
It's
but
almost half time.
I think Phoenix better than
36-45.
yeah. I think Phoenix better than Denver. But like I say, I think Denver matches up better with the Lakers than Phoenix.
I think Denver with Jamal Murray is is a really good team.
No,
Is,
Jamal is
I
too
don't think I
close.
don't, yeah, but
Is Dallas beating the Lakers?
No,
no.
Is Portland beating the
Wait,
Lakers?
no.
no.
Oh boy.
no.
Is the Clippers
There's
beating
only
the
one team I
Lakers?
There's only one team I have beaten the Lakers in. Only one team I have beaten the Lakers in the West, and that's the Lakers.
That
I
sounds like
promise
we
you
have a
this.
pretty good chance then.
No, I promise you this. I promise you this. The Lakers have enough to get to the finals. If Russ is playing a huge role on that team, the Lakers will not make it to the finals. I can promise you that. They are the only team that can beat themselves, and they beat themselves if they try to make that situation work. That situation will not work. I'm confident. They are better off with just LeBron and AD and getting players that can fit around them too. I understand the star power thing. I'm at it. Real talk. You know, it is what it is. I understand it. I just don't think it'll work out.
The reason why Star Wars powers always work is because I
They
don't
don't always
care
work. I can give you
what you run
a
on
number
with
examples of
Westbrook.
history.
You could run on all you want about Westbrook. At the end of the day, you have to put a man on him. You can never leave it. Y'all could say Westbrook
You
can't
have to
shoot,
put a
and
man.
I watch fellas jump out at Westbrook. The fact that he's a
You have to put a man
superstar,
on who?
you have to game plan for Westbrook.
I don't watch.
You
No,
have to
you
put
have
a
to game
man
plan.
on Westbrook.
You have
You
to
have
game
to.
plan. You have to game
So
plan for
my
him.
thing
But I
is,
don't watch people jump out on him.
But you
Wait,
watched
you
the
have to
game
put
last
a
night.
man on him? That's what you said?
Watch the highlights of the game last night. Like guys was jumping at Westbrook, pump faking a tree, and I was like, I rather jump at Rondo.
These
But
are little, these are little rookies that they are
That's dumb
running.
defense.
it don't
You
matter.
jump a
The
Westbrook.
point
Wait,
is,
Westbrook
is
himself
someone
say
you
if you
still have
jump
to
on him, that's
game
dumb
plan
defense.
for. It's different when you plan for Westbrook against Washington and him and no one else, or maybe Bradley Beal who injured, or you have the game plan for Westbrook, along with game planning for LeBron, along with game planning for AD. Like that's what makes the difference. It ain't saying that Westbrook has to be the number one. I keep that. That's why I say Sam's point to me is irrelevant because he's saying if Westbrook is a big part, that means they can lose. So you just telling me that okay, well Westbrook just don't have to be a big part and we'll win. We ain't
Have we
never
ever
say
seen
Westbrook come here to be the MVP, you know.
have we ever seen instances of Russell Westbrook playing a small part in the team and being successful?
No, he has to
When,
learn how to do that though.
but
He's
when
never
has he
seen
What
had the
makes you?
when has he had the opportunity
He's
to
had
do
the
that?
opportunity. He's
When?
had the opportunity.
When?
He had the opportunity in Houston
How
to
could
be
you
a
be a
second
small
option.
part and there's only two of y'all?
Yeah, but he
He
had to
had
be
the
number one.
opportunity to be a second option,
Could have
and
been
he
two.
said, "This is not for me." As a second option, he said, "This is not for me. I want to play with the ball in my hands more."
Yes,
As
because
a
he's a
second
point
option.
guard.
So
But he
what makes
can't
you
do that
believe?
on the Lakers. He can't
Why?
What
do
makes
that.
you believe that as a third option, he will adjust just fine?
Because he's playing point guard. The reason why Houston didn't work is because James Harden wants to play point guard.
So LeBron
And
don't
don't
want to play
forget,
point guard.
Westbrook cannot shoot. James Harden is now playing point guard. You forget last season. James Harden, this was before this Kyrie drama. James Harden had already take over point guard from Kyrie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
He
Kyrie
did,
is playing the two. But the difference
and
is
Kyrie glad he accepted.
Kyrie could shoot and Kyrie can make plays. The difference
And
with
Kyrie can play off the
Westbrook
ball.
is Westbrook can't play off the ball because he cannot shoot. So
Exactly.
he knows his
So
skill
when you put
set.
the ball,
So
when you put the ball in LeBron's hand, what Westbrook could do?
Wait, Loaf, you
Right.
almost there. You really close. You just see him making the sense make sense. You almost there. Right?
In the
If
playoffs, we ain't
Westbrook
talking
can't play
season.
off ball,
yeah, in the player.
if Westbrook can't play off ball,
Mm.
what makes you think that this would be successful unless you truly believe that LeBron only playing off ball? Which I find it very hard to believe that LeBron.
But then
would
you
do
just say that LeBron could still drop 30 off ball like what he did last
that.
night.
He could.
So
but that's not
if
his
Westbrook
preferred play
cannot play
style.
off the ball, but LeBron could, that already eliminate. That should already tell me who and I should put the ball in.
Dang, happen.
Do you think that will happen? When has LeBron ever not played without the ball?
Ever in his career, it can happen now in season 19.
Exactly. This is the best time for it to happen.
I agree, it's the best time, but
It's the best time. Do you
can
believe it will happen?
Yeah, it should. It will.
he said it should.
I mean, LeBron know that his legacy literally is based on championships. So at the end of the day, big man, if he want to come in here and throw a fit and talk, but he need to bring up the ball. Okay, bro. If I was Westbrook, I'd sit in the corner too. I say, okay, bro. At the end of the day, I really out here trying to be the golden. You out here trying to chase championships.
But my only thing is this.
I'm getting paid. Who's the highest paid on the Lakers?
I think Russell. No,
All right
Braun.
then.
Braun's not fit.
What
Braun's not
Braun?
fit.
Russell Westbrook is making 44 million this year.
How much
Braun is
Braun? How much
making
Braun making?
41. Anthony Davis ain't even reached 40 yet. My thing is, you want to hold the ball, but I'll gladly sit in the corner.
But watch this.
And I know one thing: when you get in the tight, do not throw that ball in this corner because I'll duck and let that go to bounce.
So we can get in the tight first. Quicker. Westbrook, LeBron.
Who getting in the what?
Wait, who getting in the tight quicker? Westbrook or LeBron?
Who getting in the tight?
You say when or LeBron getting the tight, don't throw the ball in the corner. So I'm saying, who you think? If the ball and Westbrook on, who you think get up getting in the tight quicker?
If Westbrook getting the tight, he's shooting it though.
Listen, I listen.
You know what I think it
LeBron.
is?
What?
I think it's just the fact that when you believe something,
But you're
no
just
one
overthinking it.
no
too
one
much.
can tell you otherwise, and everything you hear, you're gonna just pick out whatever you find
Again,
as justification
Bro,
to support what you believe, and he just truly
you're just
believes
overthinking it, bro. That's all
that
I
there's no
say.
way this Lakers team could win. So no matter what you say, it ain't ticket,
you're right.
and he just finds
You're right. You're
justification
right.
why this Lakers team is gonna win. We're
You're
not
right,
telling you
Bruno.
Lakers
You're right.
won't win, you know. We're
No,
not
no,
we're
no, no,
not
no.
we're not
Y'all
sitting
are
there
No, I got
saying
saying,
it.
Lakers are not
y'all
gonna
are
win
saying,
championship.
Santa said that the Lakers is
I
not
am.
gonna win.
I said
Granted,
Lakers will not win if Westbrook plays
And
a
ain't no if
significant
and a
role on
but
this
either
team.
we can win or we ain't gonna win. Cause don't come when we
If
win talking about well, you know, that's because
what you mean when we win,
Westbrook wasn't holding the ball. You just
you
tell
only
me
ain't winning.
Westbrook is not gonna not be a big part of a team because he cannot control himself or whatever, blah blah blah.
No,
So
I
it's
never said
like,
that. I never said that.
what's the
I
difference?
said Westbrook cannot play a role on this team. To be honest, I don't know much teams Westbrook to play a winning role on, but this team especially, it ain't gonna happen.
but okay, to the comment to Kent, listen, the point that we're trying to make, okay, LeBron can play off ball, but he's the best decision maker, like you said. So when they down, what do you think is gonna happen? LeBron is gonna try and take over the game, which he did last night. In the
Right.
playoffs, OKC, Westbrook was fine dishing the ball. When they start losing, what happened? Dudes started throwing up 50 shots, 48 shots.
What in OKC?
Westbrook, yeah, when they
You
start
watched that
losing,
game? You
when
mean
they
the
was
part when but I thought Paul George was playing for the other team?
that's my
But
point. So
dog,
LeBron playing about an 80 playing about what Westbrook could do.
but if you playing about what you want me to, I don't care if I was wait, listen, I could go on the Lakers right
Listen.
now, and if LeBron start playing, but you think I like money, but you think I can just keep giving you the ball because you say use LeBron.
You
All right
don't,
then.
you
Watch
don't
when I
gotta just
pass
keep
half court.
you don't gotta just keep giving him the ball, but there's other players on the team that can play.
Listen.
What?
Listen.
See,
Listen.
with that mentality,
Shout out to all man who said
Suns and
Warriors.
six, Suns and
The Warriors
six.
can make noise this year.
What?
Don't run.
Crazy.
But yeah, listen.
Warriors.
I didn't say what I have to say on that.
Anyway.
I didn't say what I have to say on that. Shout out Warriors. I think the Warriors could be a sleeper team this year for real. I don't know how far they could go, but I think they could be a sleeper team. If they get Clay back, then
This is another one.
that's because Westbrook ain't never had a leader like LeBron. That's true.
But if LeBron got Westbrook to play off ball,
See, that's the thing. This is why I want Westbrook to do what he wants. Because I hate this LeBron notion, bro. Like everybody's got LeBron. He's such a like, boy. No one cares, boy. Like LeBron, he never played with real niggas before. That's the difference. Don't forget, LeBron is picky and choose he players. You know,
right?
How long he played Kyrie? What was
this,
the whole thing with him and Kyrie? They was never friends.
So this one of those things where
Kyrie's one who wanted to leave him.
When they was winning, y'all was saying, "Oh, LeBron get Kyrie to do this and that," and LeBron is like a big brother to him. Kyrie come on and say, "But who say that?" I tell you all, LeBron was a big brother to me. I never did like man.
He was prideful, and then he left Cleveland, and he was on the downfall ever since.
But they say niggas a father figure to LeBron. I got that's disrespectful.
Yeah, all type of vibe. But father figure, he come in here and give and turn Kyrie into an all-star player. He made Kyrie like. But I rather go to another team. Like you say, whatever you call it. If I go on a downward spiral, call it what you want. But I rather go to another team and whatever than to be under this vibe where it's a difference where I come out and say, yeah, I look up to him as a this and that. But I minded my own business, burning my sage and stuff in my locker. And these fellas be talking about, hey, we look at LeBron as a father figure. What? But everything cool.
Kyrie apologized to LeBron because he said he didn't understand the whole leadership aspect of it when he went. And I thought him going to Boston, I thought he would have made waves in Boston because Boston had a pretty good team. So that
Kyrie.
was surprising to me. Yeah, that was surprising to me that didn't work out in Boston too. But
Boston problem was Boston biggest their biggest asset and their biggest problem was Brad Stevens. He was their biggest asset when it comes to coaching and stuff like that. He was their biggest problem when it came to personnel. The fact that he keep Gordon Hayward there that long, just because that was his college player, Gordon Hayward should have never been a Celtic.
well,
Gordon Hayward,
that was a good team on paper though.
or you say it, boy, listen.
Just like the Lakers now. What you
You
mean? Like
say it right on
you
paper.
just said
Look
at
at
the
what
beginning of this
look
podcast,
at
you
what
just
Jason
said
Tatum
you have
and
to
Jalen Brown
try
has done
things.
since they didn't have him there no more.
Right. They still ain't win nowhere. They ain't been nowhere. I mean,
But
so
how could you demand take up all the salary? Like you could have get a center with that. Like that's what I say. Y'all gotta realize this is a business too. But like once you get him there and he taking up 24, 25 mil, you could have get legit a top center to go with Jalen Brown and Tingham them and Kyrie to fill out every position. But instead of that, you want to have three small forwards. Why haven't three top small forwards?
They didn't
you
thought
gotta
Jalen
you
Brown
have
didn't
to
flow like that.
didn't I just say every year teams there's a team that tries to go, to
But that was
defy
unnecessary by
basketball
Gordon Hayward.
common sense.
Come on, man.
They had to try it just as
Yeah,
how we think Westbrook ain't gonna work. What you
yeah,
saying?
but
Yeah, watch
Westbrook them
this.
is superstars. Gordon Hayward he ain't even that superstar caliber, but say, let me just
But
put him there.
yeah, but Jalen Brown wasn't really a superstar either. It was only
And then the
Tatum up
boy
and down.
snappy ankle, and you won't even say, well, yeah, this is at least I get an excuse now to where, yeah, you could come off the bench, this and that. Dog come back game one and they start him and say, hey, Jalen, I need you on the bench. Now y'all got Jalen Willow dropping 20 and Madison on the first quarter. Come on, man.
Oh man, don't even sit there now like Jalen was gonna be crazy like this. When he get drafted, people was like, "But y'all serious?"
Yeah, he
Nobody
didn't get
thought
drafted.
Jalen was gonna be this good, this fast.
Yeah, he came along. He came along pretty quickly, boy. He came along pretty quickly.
I mean,
That's what I say. I don't think they realized that he was the blow up so quickly, and that's probably why they did that.
he also had a high ceiling now. Ain't like this was no draft pick gem like Kuzma them way down the line. This guy still was picked what third? Like
Would you
they saw
call
the potential there.
would you call Kuzma a gem?
Yeah. Kuzma was
Anyway,
picked what?
you already ended.
27?
You write that
I
down.
just said never get the coolest this week.
Kuzma is the gem.
Kuzma
day.
wasn't a draft day gem. Come on, man. Y'all
Uh,
gotta be realistic.
anyway, I high on Kuzma this season. I think he go wild out. Just given the
Kuzma
fact,
has a very good potential, bro.
given the fact that
Y'all
what he
was
been
writing
He
through
averaged
in
for
LA.
16, 17, boys. He averaged
y'all
for
was
16,
writing
17.
off Lonzo Ball.
Not me. I was always high on Lonzo.
People was like, why they pick him number 2? Lonzo
Nah,
Ball is now having a good session.
I still,
Y'all
I still wonder why he
was
was number
writing
2.
off Brandon Ingram.
I write off Brandon Ingram.
Niggas was writing
I
off
still wonder
Brandon
why he
Ingram
I
from
write off Brandon Ingram.
fellas was writing
Oh.
off Julius Randle, who's saving the Knicks right now. They was writing off Julius Randle when he was a Laker, and we pick him
You just called
7.
Dog dead last week. You just called
Oh,
Dog
Julius
dead
Randle.
last week.
Yeah, of course he dead now because he on the trash can.
Don't go back on the
But
train now.
y'all was writing off plenty of these guys who was in their first and second season, and I was like, why? Like, give these guys
everybody
some time.
needs time. Everybody needs time to mature.
Especially when you
everybody
could
needs
see the
time to mature.
potential there, and it's just certain things. Now, certain players you always picking up. With anybody, Mark Elford still in the league?
Yeah, Orlando.
Barely.
Yeah, Orlando.
And they just draft a point guard in the first round.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
So
that.
they're telling you.
Markel can play too. Markel can run.
You can play the what? What do you play?
They
You
high
play
on
the what?
Markel. He knocking down shots. He in the Markel of Philadelphia no more.
But
He's
you
scoring,
could,
bro.
you could get.
I play balling. Let's call it like this. Play balling.
But y'all could
Play
get.
balling. But yeah, just like
Aiden look good.
y'all just saying y'all ain't giving that extension.
But if you
Yeah,
don't get All-Star, and if you get no max, bro.
Oh, Aiden.
Yeah, I mean I could be wrong, but if you don't get
I
All-Star,
feel both sides doing what they supposed to. Well, let me not say it. I feel Aiden
Ooh.
negotiate
So
what he's
there's a
supposed to negotiate for. But Wait, why y'all owner so cheap though? Why Suns owner so cheap? Why
So
you
I'm gonna
giving? Why
say
you giving?
right, but that's surprising
I
because
mean,
he said after the season that money or financial issues is not gonna stop them from going back to the championship. That's what he said. So you would think whatever extension
I
they want
mean,
to get.
you all saying he cheap, but I don't think he cheap because he spend money.
Yeah,
He
I
just
think
He
like
give
saying,
he give
he just saying
Bridges
getting
an
eight.
extension. He give Bridges an extension, and he give who else extension? He give
Shaman.
someone else extension. Shaman.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So he's spending his
but
money, and you bring
but
back Chris Paul for 30 million, yeah,
yeah, but
Oh
it's
Lord.
it ain't just about an
and
extension now.
Devin Booker contract big.
Would he give? He gives Shaman 45 mil. I mean, if Aiden won 45 mil, I'm sure you give it to him. But Aiden won 172. Aiden won with
Max.
Trey, right, the max with Trey get with
You don't
uh
think Aiden deserves that?
I think he, but not because of Trey. I think Trey played better than Aiden. But let's go down the list. Shea Gilgis got 172.
But fuck,
Michael Porter
please,
got
Michael Porter
172.
Oche doing trash tonight,
And he
and
got
friggin' is one of the
172.
highest paid on there. Like that's my point. Like you can't say
So
Aiton ain't play up to that level or he ain't the
right,
star on that team. But guys Oche coming off the bench, making
right.
getting $200 million contracts, bro. Like that ain't
Played
fair, bro.
played 2 out of 3 seasons since he was in the NBA.
Like real dog misses his whole first two
It's
seasons
all the
and
two
So
seasons,
so
bro.
I
get
think that's really
205.
what Aiden looking at, and he's saying, "Bro, listen to me, respect me like you like my players getting their respect." That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
That's
That's
Hey, if
exactly
all.
what
That's
Michael
all he's
Porter can
saying.
get that,
And
Michael,
exactly. Michael
that's
Porter,
exactly what
like
he's saying.
he has a high ceiling. He has good talent, but my problem is you will never produce.
no,
Aiden came in as a number one pick. Aiden came in and built his way up to where he is now and produced in the playoffs to get them to the finals. Yeah, in the finals, okay, that one block did probably cost him some money. But
I even
my
have one
God,
block though.
that one
Giannis,
block was by Giannis, who was like the two-time MVP and the freak.
Giannis,
The
Giannis was killing
like,
him, but that's
come on,
Giannis. That's who
exactly.
Giannis
That's
don't
Giannis.
kill, right?
That's
That's
Giannis.
literally Giannis. So it's like
But
if you
and
can
then,
penalize him for getting killed by Giannis, that don't make no
but
sense.
even with Aiden, people didn't thought he's to last that long in the playoffs, anyways. People thought that he was going to get run off the floor in earlier series, like like how the Clippers did Utah. People thought that when they fought the Clippers, that they used to do the same thing to
Yeah,
Aiden. And Paul George say after game one, hey, listen, we playing against a different type of big.
yeah. That big is
Like
that big. What's the difference
this
maker?
this big is a difference maker. So if they could say that about your big man compared to the dude who won defensive player of the year, like back to back, right? This dude and Aiden is getting what 16 and 10 off of being a garbage man basically because he wasn't getting no plays for it, right? I think he is worth the max based off what other dudes are making.
Yeah,
I think he's
definitely.
worth that.
And like I
You know what
said,
I
Right.
mean?
I like the analytics and the actual player side of it, but I also love the business side of sports too. And I look at all of the finances of this. The NBA is about to sign one of the biggest TV contracts in sports history. A 30 million, 40 million contract is going to be below average in another 2 3 years. So my thing is, giving these guys what it is, 170 now. I think Trey Young them over what 5 years,
172 in
170
5 years.
over 5 years ain't really like what that is about 30, 60,
30
90,
something.
120,
Yeah.
like 30 something. So at the end of the day, boy, you look at that contract back in 4 or 5 years, you're gonna be like, Aiden making 35, 37. Come on, bro. Who signed that? You get swing. So it's like right now, I'd be like, boy, Aiden still have upside. Like I don't think he's even reached his potential. The only way he's reached his potential if he had mentally reached his potential. He has still part of his game that he can physically grow. But
Yeah.
like my thing is like I would give him that max now because when he comes and finish this season, the price goes up. Unless he has some catastrophic injury, which God forbid. But the price will go up. So it's like, why not? You give Chris
But
Paul, who almost 40, 120. So you give Chris Paul 120, who been there for 1 year. You mean you can't give Aiton 170, little 50 extra more for extra year, and dog basically grow up in Arizona because he been over there from he leave the Bahamas. He never left Arizona. He
Yeah.
went to high school in Arizona, college in Arizona. Y'all draft him in Arizona, and you feel in some type of way to
But
get a man 35 million a year.
I don't know
Take a
if
chill,
this
bro.
is I don't know if this is more like a uh incentive for him to ball out this season or not. I think he's gonna get his money regardless because I think someone's gonna offer him max.
Of course.
And he's restricted, so someone's gonna offer him max and then the Suns are
Yeah,
gonna match it. So I think
I
he's gonna
think
get his
that's
money regardless. So maybe this is more like a bro, listen, you gotta go there and earn this. And just to put some fire in his eyes.
yeah. And they probably don't want to open themselves either. You know what I mean? You probably saying, but dog, if I don't have to give this dude the marks right now, nah, I can do it. Let me wait till someone else do it first, and then I'll do it. But if I have to, like at the end of the day, they competing with themselves, really and truly, right?
Mhm.
So giving Aiden the marks right now is just a good gesture. That's all it really is.
Right. It's
Um,
just more
it
of a
ain't really
listen.
hit. Yeah,
You
we
just
believe in you,
right,
but it don't
but
mean
not.
nothing right now.
It may in a sense make him complacent to say I
But the
arrived,
marks,
I get in the
yeah,
max. Yeah.
it's good.
So I could see them looking at it from a perspective as you gotta earn this and to motivate him. But I think regardless of what happens at the end of the season, he's gonna get the max. I think they already know they gave him the max, regardless of what happens. But he don't know that. So he gotta ball out for other team to offer him the max. For them to say, okay, yeah, we can give you the max.
But when they go famous, so they don't hold him out, but not a flip. They can say, wait, I expect that marks. Anyway, I hope he get it. I mean, he'll get it. He'll get it. He deserves it. He
Yeah,
earned it
man.
for sure. Uh, so yeah. Any other news y'all want to shout out before we wrap up? Shout out
Um,
Candace Parker
no man,
and
don't wait. Anyway, but y'all can
shout out
ride.
Candace Parker.
Y'all can
But
ride,
what I
bro.
say, you don't want to see, me
Y'all
shout out the
can ride.
WNBA champion.
Don't shout
You want
out
the MVP win.
nobody
You
who
want the MVP?
y'all was running on with when I was shouting them out 2 weeks ago.
We
When
ain't
I
run.
was
We
shouting
Who
out,
he's running on
hold
with?
on. Did we
when I
disagree with anything you said
But he's be free. But you
you
about
all
Candace
run
Parker?
on,
what
and
were
it's
you
like,
saying?
you shouldn't be saying that. It's all about John
You
Creel. My thing
your
is, I
your
said
word.
congratulations to John Creel for winning the MVP of the season. But this is not a playoffs, and I is pulling for Candace Parker because that is my favorite WNBA player from I was watching
Wait,
basketball.
You
Y'all run
wildin'.
on, but she hasn't been good in a while, and blah blah blah. I say, okay,
You're
good.
not saying that.
wait,
Remember when
dude,
we was
see,
having the
wait,
go?
wait,
Y'all start running on about
wait.
what is that same Tarazi?
What you
Bro,
Y'all
we
start
say
running
talking
on
about,
about
Candace in
man?
it.
Maya.
We
We
been
is
said
asking
Candace
we
is in the GOAT conversation.
no. You asked who I felt
But you
was
need
the
to go
goat.
sleep.
I said Candace. You said Masi, Diane
Yep,
Tarazi
I
or
say it
someone
ain't that
else.
Wait,
easy. I say
Sans, I
it's
don't
not
even
that
know.
concrete.
Sans Masi pick
we had a whole
someone from
segment.
from from Night League.
We had a whole segment where we say the WNBA have plenty arguments for the GOAT. I mentioned on here that Candace Parker won the MVP in her rookie year.
And
I mentioned that right on the spot.
yeah.
But y'all was saying she's washed though.
We
But
never
we ain't
said that.
never said
Talk,
Yes.
talking
Yes, y'all
foolishness. No
did.
one ever said that
Y'all
stupid like that.
did.
Wait, who would say something dumb like that?
What you mean something
No
dumb
one
like
ever
that?
said that. No one
But
ever said
the
something dumb like that.
WNBA players was rating Candace as the most overrated player 2 years ago. What you mean who would say
Okay,
something? But y'all really is trying
because
to act
Candace ain't
smart in
hold on,
hindsight, boy.
Candace ain't MVP candidate no more.
overrated is not me watched it, and
But ain't
we
like
never said she was washed.
she ain't MVP candidate no more. She ain't MVP Candace, but she ain't washed.
She ain't washed.
Oh,
But
boy.
we always
Right.
put in the GOAT conversation.
Eh,
We sit
Wait,
here and we
we
list
yeah. My point
must
is
have
why
won
y'all was
10
listing
players.
all these exactly. Why y'all was listing all them players? When we come and talk about the go conversation for the NBA, we is list 10 players.
No, but that's the point. The
Candace
NBA is
Parker's
more
not the undisputed
concrete
group.
than the WNBA. The WNBA, you have a
Candace Parker's
ton
not
of.
the undisputed group. What
You
you mean?
saying
Why we
Candace
list all
Parker
the players?
undisputed GOAT?
You hear me
That's
saying
what
that? I don't
sounded you
even know
must
what the
say.
hell
Oh,
sounds run on with. I don't even
oh.
know. Sounds. All
So
I said
you
is
just
the list shouldn't be that long. Candace Parker is on a tear that shouldn't have 10 players in it.
No, you are in that. Now
Really?
you are.
yeah, you talking
10
foolish.
players on the level of Candace Parker in the NBA, WNBA. 10?
Like not
More than
now.
10?
We talking about all
No,
time.
I talking about, yeah, all time. Like, really? 10?
Yes, bro. Yes.
10.
Oh, you wildin'. Nice.
You
Yeah,
could
I see why you freaking out.
call them 10.
Maya Moore, Elena Deladon,
Maya
Diana
Moore kill her
Taurasi,
own chances by leaving, bro.
Yeah,
Lisa
and she's still
Leslie.
and she's
She
still
don't
leaving
know.
with more championships than Candace, and
Yes,
she
but we
take a
talking
break.
about, you just said career.
Okay. So give it
Uncle
a
Ray is
4.
better than Candace Owen.
Oh, boy.
Arguably.
Oh, it's
So
arguably not.
Maya Moore,
Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Lisa Leslie, Elena Deladon.
Nigga say
Who else?
Elena Della Dawn.
Cheryl Swoops,
Cheryl Swoops,
Tina Thompson.
Elena Della Dawn is not in the
Cooper.
GOAT conversation. Don't just throw names out there who y'all trying
Not
to
this sec. All
dig
right.
up names who y'all just know.
It's
How
funny.
long
All
Elena
right.
Della
Okay.
Dawn been in the league?
Okay. All right.
So
You listen to these accomplishments and you tell me.
No,
You
I
tell me
asked.
whether or not she should be in there.
God,
2-time WNBA MVP. Candace have one.
mm.
Correct?
Candace have 2. I
No.
think Candace have 2.
Me
I'm not
compare
sure.
them
I think
side by
Candace have
side.
2.
Me compare them side by side. So I don't mess them up. Me compare them side by side. I don't mess them up.
I read the accomplishments the other day. I think Candace have 2.
they don't.
She have 2. She have 2 rings for sure.
Yeah, everybody know that.
You have two
But
rings.
well, let's
You have
go.
2 rings.
But don't forget now, NBA and WNBA system totally different. But go ahead.
6-time WNBA All-Star for Candace Parker. Deladon is a 6-time WNBA All-Star. Candace Parker been in the league longer than that. Deladon is the only member of the WNBA to go, what, 50, 40, 90?
Only
The only member.
Gee,
Diana Taurasi.
2. Wow.
It's only now it's 2. Oh boy.
I just saying.
Candace in there. That's the point.
I guess that's it there.
Okay,
See
what's your
there.
point?
WNBA champion. WNBA champion. Candace is now a 2-time WNBA champion. Okay, cool. Candace have a WNBA Finals MVP. That's pretty strong.
How much MVPs Candace have?
Candace have 2. She have 2 MVPs.
Candace have 2. Deladon have 2. You really don't put they ain't in the same boat?
If Candace is tier 1, Della Dawn is tier 2.
You wildin'. I'd say
I don't know
because
why
of
the team
Candace
said all
impact,
of
Candace is better than that. Candace
Candace.
Caress better than Deladon. But you
all
can't
the
tell me
time.
Deladon ain't in the team
All the
conversation
time.
as Candace.
I don't know what they're doing.
I said GOAT conversation. Yeah, she's not in the GOAT conversation. Not at this point in her career. Give her about 2 or 3 good more seasons. Yeah. At the end of her
What
career,
the guy
probably.
name from Indiana, man? Showing you like this guy. What the girl name from Indiana, son? I mean,
Tamika
she didn't retire.
Catchings.
But to Catchings, Tamika
Tamika
Catchings in the GOAT conversation.
That's what
I say
Tamika
Tina
Catchings.
Thompson.
Yeah, go look at the stats.
I say Lisa Leslie. I say Cheryl Swoops.
Tamika Catchings is a Finals MVP, champion, 10-time All-Star, 7-time First Team, 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm going to tell you. She was more defensive than offensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
makes it.
she in the
Definitely
GOAT
puts in the GOAT conversation.
Of
5
course
times.
not.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
so for you,
Tamika Catchings ain't in the GOAT conversation.
Our resume
5-time
ain't comparable.
defensive player of the year. You are not. Remember that thing I tell you about where he didn't have a point in his head, and anything he say, he's
But
trying to
you
find
keep y'all
justification
got to
for
stop
it.
trying to put everybody in jam pack these people in tier 1, boy.
Bro,
Tier 1 is
this
tier
a-
1 for a reason, boy. That's like when you go to club and I pay in for VIP, and then you're all trying to sneak in and say, boy, well, man,
So who
my
on tier
man.
1? So who on tier 1? Let me tell you. Who on tier
Obviously it's Candace Parker. Obviously it's Diana Taurasi. To be honest with you, if you really want to be realistic on impact of the game, I would have to put Brittany Griner in there.
What?
Yeah, you lace. You dying
Over
to
Tamika Catchings? Oh,
Time to
see,
go to
and
bed.
this is my
So
problem.
Brittany Griner is in there
Over
on
Tamika
impact of the game.
Catchings?
Y'all only
Time
used
to
to
go to
start
bed.
watching WNBA because y'all hear a 6'7" woman is dunk.
We
Like you
talking,
really is watch
Yeah, man.
WNBA
we
for
talking to you
y'all
about
looking about
legend.
stats. Don't be
We
a
talking to
young
you.
geek, man. We're not in that age, bro. Don't be none of these young nerds, bro.
So what
Don't
you
Who be
tell
these
basing?
me.
Hold
little
on.
start
No, no,
What
touches
you
no,
who's
basing?
come
no,
here and
no.
What
talk
you
about,
basing? Hold on.
oh
Don't
my
tell
God,
me.
LeBron
Don't
has
tell
been
me.
playing for 20 years
Don't tell
and
me.
his
I
left
never.
So
testicle is
so
more hairier
so
than the right testicle.
what
Like
you
that ain't what
basing? Hold
we are
on.
come to
If
do,
you
bro.
ain't interested in awards, you ain't interested in awards. You ain't
It's
interested in
impact
conversation. What
on
you
the
basing for?
game, bro. You really think
So who look
name
better? Who look better? The
name
first one to
something
dunk.
that Jordan is number one in? Is Jordan number one in points, rebounds, assists, steals? Name one stat that Jordan is number one in. But why is he the undisputed GOAT when it
Why is he
comes
on the
to
field goal?
he ain't even have the most championships?
Undisputed. Okay.
Stop it, man.
Why
He
is
ain't even have the most
why is he
championships.
why is he
It's impact
why is he
on
the
the
goat?
game, bro.
Right, and
Like it's
it's
more than just stats, but it's not just stats
right.
alone and
So
say,
we
oh well,
call,
let me match
but we
his
calling
stats up.
people who've had impact. So you telling me Brittany
No, I
Griner had
saying
more of an impact
I
on the game than
Listen,
Tamika
the thing is, he ain't
Catchings?
no one really calling no
I
stats, you know.
no I
Niggas
you
calling
bring up
niggas
to me
calling
catchings,
And you
I
niggas
never
say,
calling
said
Brit,
body.
and you told me no for Tamika Catchings, but then you want to call Brittany Griner.
for tier one.
But niggas
I put
ain't
in
even
How?
tier
gonna
one.
bring us stats, you know. Niggas bringing up the body of work. Jordan is the
But
GOAT
we
because of his body of work. Jordan has look at it, number one in playoff points. Jordan has six straight championships, well, three straight championships back to back.
I
But
just gotta say,
6-0 in the finals. Six
okay.
and 0 in the finals, six finals
Oh
MVPs,
boy, I know that was coming.
multiple
Because
times
boy, I
scoring
going to say
leader.
something,
good one,
but I
good
going to
one.
wait till I going to wait till I can find Google and screenshot. But
Multiple
everything cool.
multiple times scoring leader, multiple time
Tell you,
defensive player
bro.
of the year. Jordan's culmination of of accomplishments, along with him being dominant at a period in time, makes
Not
people
dominant,
believe that
the
Jordan is the
most
GOAT.
dominant
Right.
at that
Okay.
period in time.
So
Yeah,
no,
the most
no. Let's
dominant at a
talk.
period of time.
Let's talk.
But
We
how do we measure
forgetting.
that dominance?
We
How do we measure
forgetting.
that
Heavyweights.
dominance?
We forgetting one huge name. Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia Cooper
Oh,
won four
she
championships:
she nice.
97,
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a
yeah,
98,
beast.
she's a
99, and 2000. Four straight championships.
Yeah,
She's
she's a
finals
beast.
MVP for all four of them. All-time leader in scoring average.
Yeah, I
Three-time
give you that
scoring
one.
champion.
give that too.
I give you that one.
It's so insulted at this point. You say Brittany Griner.
But don't forget now, people also go. Don't I mean I hate to say it like this, right? But people also go by level of competition. The level of competition that Brittany Griner play against now, you think it's the same as 96, 97, 98, and 99? You put great. I just asking. Put Brittany Griner in 97, 8, and 9. What you think can happen?
She ain't gonna be better than the people who we calling. She ain't better than no Tina Thompson. She ain't better than no Lisa Leslie.
That's a better crop of bakes too. That's a better
Okay,
crop of bakes,
bro.
partner. I don't like to do the era stuff though. I don't like to do the era stuff. You
But
play
you
who in
gotta
your
do it
era.
though.
No, you don't have to do it because you never know the right answer there. You play who in your era. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you do, but
That's
you still go by it. People hate to do it because people hate to say that this era is better. But it's just life, bro. If someone plays better or someone has a bigger impact than you, it's life. That's why you play sports. It's competition. You out here to beat people. It's not this
right.
handshaking. Oh, maybe our two of us could be the best. No, no, bro. I will be number
You're
one.
missing the point.
You will be number
You're
two.
missing the point.
At the end of the day, you
But it's
cannot
hard.
I
compare
cannot.
Bill
I cannot
Russell
say.
and his 11 championships in the 80s and 70s and 60s to guys winning championship Jordan championships in the 90s, bro. Dog
No, you
literally was
can't do it
playing
because
nobody.
Bill Russell had four teams he's playing. You can't do it. Of course you
Exactly.
can't do it.
You are the
But
25% of winning the championship every
yeah,
year just by making it.
so of course you can't do it with them. I talk more when people say, okay, did this person play in this era, or did they play in this era? I mean, listen, the
Certain
60s and
players you
50s,
can.
I don't even really count that. I don't even, to be honest. No disrespect to them.
See,
I don't, I
same
don't,
thing.
I don't, I don't, I don't count that because niggas was only playing with 8 teams. So it's hard for me to say. It's
Mhm.
hard for me to say, boy, dog, you're definitely ain't playing on the same level playing field, right? With only 8 teams, like
So if you
forget
can
it.
say that players now will go back and dominate, could you say players back then could come up to now and dominate?
Of course, players back then can't come and dominate because the skill level always will progress as generations
No,
Exactly.
go on.
no, but you have.
So,
I
but I
mean,
can't
common
hold it
sense.
against the players back then. Though. I
No,
can't
I
hold
ain't
it against
holding
the
it
players back
against
then.
them, but I just saying that it's the revolution of the average player now could go to the 50s and smash records. Put
True.
J.R. Smith back.
I guess I'll see.
I mean, you don't want to say it like that because it sounds like you discrediting like Jerry West and Will Chamberlain and stuff like
Hey,
that,
them
right?
niggas used to be
Put
dribbling the
Shaq
ball and
back
be
in those
flipping.
days. My lord, Shaq was
Dribbling, hey,
destroying
hey.
guys in the 2000s. Imagine the
Y'all
60s.
ever, y'all ever watch Bob Cousy highlights, boy? What I say? This boy used to
Like
be
real
dribbling
talk,
yeah to the
boy. Like
ground, boy.
you like. I just don't want to get off, right? But come on, bro. Let's be
I say,
realistic.
boy, if I
Now,
spark
at
here,
that time,
like, you know, this is not-
they was the best of the best at that time. They was killing probably
but
every competition around. But you bring them into today's basketball, carry them with friggin' have these guys in ICU. Like real talk.
I
bro,
agree.
if you was to transport Kyrie back then, they would lock him up, boy. They would think he's a magician. They
Real
say he's a
talk,
wizard or
wait.
something.
Like
He
they'd
doing
say, but who
witchcraft.
who is this guy, boy?
They say, but he doing witchcraft, boy. They ban him for the sport, boy. And then two, you gotta understand too, the creator basketball. I tell people this all the time. I
You
joke
couldn't
with
even
this.
dunk back then.
I sure this play did not imagine his game was to take off like this. If he walk inside last night that Lakers game and he saw LeBron take it off from the free throw line, he'd have a heart attack. I sure you didn't expect his game, his beloved game, to transform into a bunch of black niggas just dunking up the ball and being athletic, right?
I agree.
So basketball take a whole different avenue from what it once was created, and dudes just start adding in their own little flavor and style, and the game just keep progressing.
Wait, what this boy
The
right
game
now?
keep progressing.
Wait,
The bad boys
wait,
is
and this
still
boy was
carry.
just advocating for LeBron just now. Now you talking about the bad boy kill Kyrie. If they would kill Kyrie, what they would do to LeBron?
But listen,
It's kind of tougher for them to kill LeBron, given LeBron's size. Eh?
How? If LeBron of this size now and he doesn't bully, you think he's gonna bully in the 90s? This
Yeah,
was ask people.
yes,
Y'all just
yes,
look at the
yes. No,
size,
no.
right? And
LeBron,
talk about LeBron is so big and bullyish. How much times do you really see him bully on the court?
no, because it's in a bully era.
So
LeBron takes
wait,
advantage of the
LeBron.
game. Remember we talked about players knowing the game.
okay.
Why do you think LeBron's flop? Because he's a flopper? No, because he
Yeah,
takes
but you
manipulates the
can't
refs.
flop in those days. We talking about his
He's a
game
Exactly,
now
flopper though.
translating there.
exactly.
So
So
what
he
you was gonna
He is
do?
a
wouldn't.
flopper though.
So he wouldn't flop in those and in that
And
era.
what
So
he's
I'm
gonna
saying
do?
what they used to do.
Yeah,
He's
what he
gonna
was
do
gonna
what
do?
they used to do.
How?
Bully.
Please.
Come
Wait,
on.
At
We
no
just
LeBron,
point
say
in time.
the greats
LeBron,
adjust and take advantage of the system of the game. Back in the day, you won by bullying people. So what do you think LeBron's going to do? Bully
What?
people? You think he's
LeBron
going to
is
be in the 90s flopping? No.
No, he wasn't
he's a
gonna be
disgrace
flopping,
of a
but
man. Man.
he wasn't
He's a
gonna be
disgrace.
doing all that.
LeBron's going to be
He's a
dipping his
disgrace.
shoulder and running over people, bro.
But you
Right,
gotta be crazy,
LeBron
bro.
is
Y'all
a
gotta stop
disgrace.
this
Man.
way. You better
He's a
stop.
disgrace of a man. Man.
But
Same thing
dropping his shoulder and killing it.
if
Stop it.
Jordan played in this era, you think Jordan would have been
He
laying
flop.
up?
I like he'd have
40.
been a flop on it. Jordan
40.
would
He
have been a
would have
flop
been
on it if he
flopping.
played this
Then
era.
Yes,
what's
but
my
he was
He would
point?
have been
doing
a flop
it
on it.
because but he would be successful at it. The difference is all he's getting is more free throws. In
But
the
my
back
point,
then, if you take away LeBron's free throws away from him and you tell him drive to the rim, Mr. who was so durable for 18 seasons now, you think he's been this durable in the
maybe not,
90s, taking all
but
them
he still would
them
have been
but them
effective.
fellas who's
Just
coming to
as
game legit
no,
just hit you?
this is how Jordan would have been successful. He would have adapted and he would have been throwing his head back for every contact.
You mean Jordan
LeBron
know
would
how
have been
a
that era,
patented jump shot?
bro.
Does LeBron have a patented jump shot?
That's not the point. What I'm trying to say
I already
is
asked.
great players adjust to the game.
All right.
Jordan would have adjusted and he would have acted accordingly. He would have been flopping. LeBron would have been
I believe
bullying
I
people.
yeah, I believe great players adjust.
He
That's
wouldn't
what
have
I
been
believe.
great.
I believe
LeBron probably would have been good
it's
in that area. He
You
definitely wouldn't have
crazy.
been top.
Nah, LeBron would have been top.
okay, yeah, you got it.
Would he would have
You
been
got it. I don't
would he
like
have been
LeBron.
better than
I don't like
Jordan?
LeBron
That's
too
what I
wide.
Of
say.
course not.
But
Definitely.
I don't
he
like
would have
LeBron
been
too
great.
wide.
I think the argument
Too
still would
wide.
have been LeBron or Jordan.
No.
I think it still would have been LeBron or Jordan.
Easily. It still would have been LeBron and Jordan. Now people still would have picked. I think back then people would have
Bro,
more easily picked Jordan.
don't forget.
But the
Maybe.
argument still would have been there.
All y'all still all forget. Don't forget, but I keep telling y'all it's a whole parameters, but we all just think on the court. No one is gonna let an 18-year-old kid or 19, 20, even if he had to go to college, come out there at 6'8", 250, and come out here talking about you dribbling my ball. Because first of all, LeBron would not even be doing the things he does in that era because your coach would not allow it. LeBron would have been playing small forward, even power forward at that time.
What
So LeBron would
what
have been
era you
dribbling
think
the ball.
LeBron came in?
What dribbling with ball?
Do you
So
know?
who would have
Do
driven the
you know
ball
that?
given
Do you,
They
given
don't
the
care, boy. They
no.
don't
do you
care.
know? Do you
You
know
good,
that
you
when
good.
LeBron Wait, do you know that when LeBron first came in the league, that he was the only 18-year-old doing that, right? You know that didn't happen to anyone else, right?
And what happened? There's
What you
winning
mean what
games.
happened? No, of course he ain't gonna win no game as no rookie. But
Oh, okay.
to say that that wouldn't happen as if he's in a different era, like LeBron is literally the only person that's ever happened to. Him and maybe Luca is the only person who people at that young of an age say be giving you the keys to run our franchise from day one. So it still would have happened in a different era. He was gifted enough for it to happen.
No.
What you
I,
mean?
I
No,
don't
he's
I don't see it being
he was
different. I
gifted.
see
He's a 6'8", 250-pound point guard. He was
Yes.
gifted enough for it to happen in any era.
No,
In
they're
any
not
era.
gonna. But they put you on positions and thought you run a offense, bro. You
yeah,
run
that's
a
why
offense. I'm
that's
not
why
gonna
Magic
give my
Johnson,
six
yeah,
eight. No one is
yeah,
gonna give that
that's why
6'8",
6'9".
250-pound guy the
right.
ball in
That's why
Magic Johnson was
eh,
1986.
6'9".
thank you. That's why
But
Magic hold on,
Magic
but
Magic
Johnson,
Johnson was
that's why
6'9".
but that's why Magic played center in the finals and win MVP when Green gone down.
exactly.
He's a point guard though. So why
But
let him do that?
oh my
Because
god,
when you good. It don't
did
matter.
did you watch? Did y'all actually watch see the
Magic,
whole roster of team, or y'all just go by what y'all see in highlights?
am I wrong?
Anytime I see something that people try to make so special, I like to research it. When you go back to that team, that team was basically a superstar team, bro. Magic fit a slot. That's why where you put Magic could have fit anywhere in that lineup because Magic fit a slot, bro. Magic
Why?
fit a
Because Magic
slot.
was a special player, right?
Magic was a special passer. Magic was one of the greatest passers of all time. LeBron is not
LeBron
that.
is not one of the greatest passers of all time.
No, he's not.
You was a crazy man. I
Y'all
don't even
like
like
to make
LeBron.
it seem like
I don't
why
even like LeBron, and you was a crazy man.
you say one of the greatest passers of all time? Like tell me
Like, go
how.
check LeBron assist average.
Say what?
For a nigga who plays small forward most of his career, go check his assist average.
LeBron don't
No,
have,
you just
but he ain't even assist. LeBron don't have one of the best IQs of all time.
no.
One
Don't
of the
try.
highest
We
IQs of all
talking
time.
about best. He just said
We talking
LeBron
about
is one of the
playmakers. We
best
talking about
assists guy of all
LeBron
time.
is
no.
LeBron
His
No.
LeBron
assist average is what 7, 8?
for a small forward.
Yeah, with Magic on
So you
this.
think you so
Magic
you
was a
think
point guard.
Magic
No,
was,
we talking about
but what I'm
size and
trying to say
skill set now. We ain't just talking
no,
about position.
but my thing is this: you saying a team would not put the ball in LeBron's hand in
Yes,
any era. A team would say you running our ball in any era. And if they have a better point guard than him, they'd say, okay, y'all two can split duties. But no one is saying, hey, use a pretty good passer,
But because
but
you
we just make
18,
because
you
you're 18, we
18,
just
you
make you
can't touch
stand
my
up in the
ball yet.
corner and be a garbage man. If you doing that, he deserves to get fired. That's an argument I had with someone the other day. If Steph was, I mean, someone said me, if Steph was in San Antonio, Pop wouldn't make him shoot threes. Pop would tell him he need to shoot uh 2 pointers. Pop wouldn't make him shoot threes. I say, but listen, if Pop saw that nigga in practice shooting from half court and decided to tell him in the game he need to shoot threes, Pop need to get fired.
but it's
That's
happened.
not good coaching.
Yeah, but it's happened. Your
But
career is based on your coaching and your environment. The reason
Mhm.
why you don't go to teams like Pop, then Pop would never even draft. Pop would not draft Steph Curry. If Pop had the chance to draft Steph Curry, Pop wouldn't draft him not because he don't see a great player in him. He just don't see a great player for his system. Poppy ain't
Yeah,
running
but
no whole play for you.
and it's not a smart choice.
I mean, Pop still have more rings than Steph, right?
I say it's not a smart choice.
I mean, for him, yes. You have to make the best decision for you, bro. You can't make the best decision for the fans. You're not making the best decision for other people. You make the best decision for you. If I run my offense like this, I have to pick players suited for my team. I can't just pick players based on, oh yeah, you can come out here and shoot up all the ball. Okay, that might be good for Steve Kerr offense, but that might not be good for Greg
Hey,
Popovich offense.
the greatest players in NBA history, the greatest players in NBA history, I think that's what you have to understand, have always dictated their style of play, not the other way around. A coach ain't dictating your style of play. The coach gotta adjust to you. That has always been the case with the greatest players in the NBA
What?
that's a
because
good point.
they don't fit a
So
typical
Phil
prototype.
Jackson made the triangle for Jordan and Shaq and Kobe.
Phil Jackson didn't make it. Phil Jackson didn't make the triangle.
Did he?
Texman didn't make the
But
triangle.
and that's what he and that's
Yeah,
what he
but
put in there.
you know this point. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
you understand.
Jordan
Like
Jordan was Jordan before the triangle though.
I
Jordan was Jordan
know,
before the triangle.
but Jordan couldn't win before that.
You could say it was a triangle, or you could say it was the players. I mean, Jordan did not Pippen.
So the triangle went in without Jordan,
I mean, it went to LA and win.
without Kobe,
Oh, that was on Kobe.
Exactly.
I
without an
mean,
all-time great. You get my point, right? Without an
And
all-time great.
not just all-time great, all two all-time greats who play identical. So you're still saying without Jordan. So did the triangle ever win without Jordan?
Did the
no,
triangle ever win
in
without an
LA,
all-time great?
in LA, yeah, in LA.
Without an all-time great player, did the triangle ever win either?
Kobe is Jordan, but it's the same thing.
I mean, Kobe is Kobe.
All-time great players have always dictated their style of play,
Yeah, but
That's
you
a
not the
fair
other
saying
way
point.
you
around.
saying dictated like they ain't playing a system. You saying if it win
What do
without
you mean?
them, okay, but did they win without it? I remember when Phil left
So,
and they took the triangle when he took the triangle with him. Kobe bash him and say, "Yeah, but he slide out. You want Shaq could slide out." And then Kobe turned around like 2 years later and say, big brother, pardon I, bring it back. You put Pau Gasol in the triangle and you win 2 championships after that. So it's like,
Kobe and that
okay,
power Gasol at that point.
what?
Kobe and that power Gasol at that point. Kobe,
So you're saying was
was
it
it
the
the
triangle
talent?
or is it the
Was it the
talent of the
talent of the
players?
triangle?
Right.
You think Kobe could win in any other system if he had the talent?
What you talking about?
When Phil Jackson pack up his Georgia wanted to take his triangle to New York, how much games Melo win with that triangle? Not much.
But was Melo running the triangle?
Yeah, New York
They
was
was
running the
running it.
triangle.
I say it was
They was running it.
Melo running the triangle, not New
They was
York.
running- Do you
They
think
was
Jordan was
trying. The
running his
honest trying to
triangle?
get Melo to run that triangle. Melo say, "Big man, I don't know who you think you is, but I know who I is." You're not now.
But listen, the greatest players I always say again, even if you look at Pop career, Pop didn't change his system 2 to 3 times since he became a successful coach. He has never said, "Hey, this is my way or the highway." When he had Duncan and David Robinson, he played around them too. When he drafted Tony Parker, he started to tailor offense more around Tony Parker. When he drafted Kawhi, he started to do the same thing for Kawhi. He never say, "Wait, we playing this way, and that's it." Great talent has always dictated how teams will play. That's just how it is, right? Just in high school, where you saying, "Oh, it's my way or the highway."
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that. But okay.
Of course, you don't agree, but give me an example otherwise. You can't even give me an example otherwise.
What you mean? I can't give you an example otherwise. You saying like when you say great players, like you talking about actually winning with it, or you just talking about me coming to your team and playing like how I want to play?
I said winning. Great talent, all time great players.
Mm. They
Great. An
dictate.
example I just gave just now was with Pop. Pop changes his coaching style 2 to 3 times since he first won championship.
I mean, I didn't see much of the change. You saying it's a big change. You talking about playing around players. Playing around players don't mean I change my system. I just change who's the star in my system.
So who's the
So you
star in
ain't
San
just
Antonio now?
Now, no, he's talking about from David Robinson up until their last
Oh,
championship
okay.
with Kawhi.
throughout his championships, did he change his
Yeah,
style?
basically.
Throughout championship runs.
I haven't seen Pop really change his style. His actual style was always defense first, honestly and truly.
No, but his
So on
style is more
offense,
like a motion where
Yeah, and he always run that motion because there ain't no one player going off. So it's definitely not no superstar coming there and dictating because no one player was ever going off in San Antonio like that, even though they could have. It was always a motion, best shot, take the best shot.
so you think everybody had equal opportunity inside that offense?
no.
No, that means that's the best shot.
So when we watch it go from Tim Duncan giving you 20 and 10 to now that era switch to Tony Parker now winning the Finals MVP. So that era switch to now Kawhi Leonard becoming the #1 option, running more ISOs to Kawhi Leonard. Again, great coaches adapt to the talents that they actually have. They don't say, "Hey, bro, I see you could do all that, but not on this team." That's the quickest way to get fired. especially if you have an all-time great player. That's the easiest way to get fired. So again, back to the original point we had. He ain't no coach. Oh, look at LeBron, 6'8", 250. I say, bro, I don't care about all that, bro. You could be a garbage man. You getting rebounds and don't dribble my ball.
What dominant coach has LeBron ever been under? LeBron always had gone under trash coaches. The one good coach they actually tried to bring in and be LeBron coach,
You get him
David
fired.
Blatt, when he was came
Yeah,
from
he's-
Europe, who was one of the best coaches of European history, came
Yeah.
over here and actually tried to
was-
bring structure to Cleveland. Dog
was
wild
mad.
out and say, boy, yeah, I'm in into that. But to be
was
honest,
mad.
they always put
He just-
weak coaches on top of
LeBron just don't
LeBron.
like no. You don't like no
No,
one
but
touching
I
him
don't-
with the two.
But I don't think that was intentional, though. I hated LeBron for getting rid of Blatt because Blatt was
But
clearly a
I
quality
was
coach.
like, boy, I thought when they got Blatt, I
Yeah.
was like, boy, mother flip LeBron and win like 3 straight right now, and then like
Yeah.
this can be a real dynasty. When I see they let go of Blatt, I say, oh, flip, all hell break loose. Nah,
You
I
gotta
know
remember,
everything
you
ain't be
gotta
long.
remember the circumstances around getting Blatt. Though. They first got Blatt when they thought they was going to be a rebuilding team. That was just after they had a horrible season, and they pick up Blatt thinking that Blatt would be coaching a rebuilding team around Kyrie Irving. And then that so happened to be the offseason LeBron chose Cleveland. So it's not as if they got Blatt for LeBron. It just so happened that he was there when LeBron chose Cleveland.
My point exactly. Like, why you can't pick a great coach to put with LeBron, who was a great player?
They kind of did though. Spoelstra was a pretty great coach.
Boy, stop it.
Spoelstra was a great coach. Spoelstra was a
He's
great
not.
coach.
He's not a dominant coach like an
You
alpha,
could have
like you
almost
talked about.
anybody to coach that Miami team. Why you okay? If he's such a
But
great coach, how you get beat?
Spoelstra-
Up?
it's Spoelstra-
How you get
it's
beat your
Spoelstra-
first year? How you get beat your first year against Dallas?
Listen,
Who
nobody's
lost the
put,
finals?
nobody's
That
put-
wasn't Paul
Miami,
coaching.
Miami lost it, but nobody's put a team together and just win championship unless it's LeBron. To be honest, it don't happen like that. Come on, they had to adjust. But Spoelstra
I
has
think you
proven
don't
himself
understand
to be one of the best coaches in the league right
how
now.
much super teams lose championships or not even make it there. I don't
He
think you
understands
really
because he's a
understand
Kobe fan, so he know about the super team that lost the championship.
that. Kobe put 2 super teams that didn't make it the championship. I mean, that didn't win the championship. Malone, Peyton,
None
Shaq,
of them was in
Kobe.
their prime. LeBron is get prime players, bro.
I'm
So-
trying to make it seem like it's different. No different.
No, but you saying super team, like it's a difference between super names and super teams, bro. Gary Payton and Malone came there very the end of their careers. Dwight Howard and Steve Nash was basically in a wheelchair. They rolled Steve Nash into the Staples Center. Dwight was coming off a major back surgery, but Dwight almost didn't even play. He came off a major back surgery that year. So it's like he was rehabbing that year, and you really trying to put that as compared as prime LeBron, prime Wade, and prime
We
Ball.
ain't saying it, we just saying
And
that's a super
prime,
team, bro.
we just talked about prime Kevin Love and prime Kyrie Irving, and then you come here and get prime Anthony Davis and what is this? I don't know. Westbrook always in the prime. I don't know when Westbrook. I don't know. Westbrook, but you getting prime players, bro. Please.
Okay, you talking about that, but let's talk about
That's a
that
super
particular
name.
season. Let's talk
Right
about
now.
that
Yeah,
particular
this year is
season.
more of a super
When they-
name team.
When Kobe, maybe Kobe didn't do it because Kobe wasn't like, hey, I want to. But when the Lakers put those teams together, were they not the favorites to win the West or win the championship?
Which one? The first one? 04?
Both.
04. What were we looking at 04? Favorite to win the West. Who was in the West 04? Garnett, Tim Duncan. Yeah, he probably is one of the favorites.
And when the next one with Howard and Steve Nash, he
To
was
win,
one of the favorites.
to win? When LeBron was already in Miami with that super team?
Going into that season, they definitely was a favorite.
They
Boy,
were
probably just in the
Going into
West.
that season,
But I think they was the
Nash
finals.
and
year.
Howard.
Come
Going
on, man.
into
We
that
know
season,
Nash was
they
in
was
good. Nash was in good
definitely
probably like 2
favorite.
years before that. But you
Nah,
see what we
come on.
what we trade for Nash?
No.
What did we trade for Nash?
Had a good season the year before that.
What you call a
He had
good season?
the year before that.
Nash went there and his health didn't keep up. But don't make it seem like him going there. Everyone was like, y'all was like,
You realize
was
that we
hype.
wasn't even supposed
saw-
to get Nash? Nah, Chris Paul going there would have been the top of the line. We wasn't even supposed to get Nash. We actually get Nash because the NBA felt bad for fucking screwing us over by taking Chris Paul back. That was the first and last time I ever know a trade to get vetoed.
yeah.
And
But
they just felt bad. They was like, okay, You could have Dwight Howard and Steve Nash now. And it's like, no man, but this is what we want. But anyway, if this what we get, this we get. Fellas play like a combined 5 or 10 games together. That was it.
The point is, that was a super team going into the season. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, this team but to destroy the league." They didn't perform, or they didn't get a chance to perform. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I guess.
The point is, it was put together.
Hmm.
Can't
So
believe he just
you
MVP.
mean to tell me so Kobe actually win more rings without a super team than he did with a super team? Sound better to me, man. That sound like you heightening the career part now.
The trade with Lakers and New Orleans. Dan Gilbert cost that trade. Kev, you talking about the trade when
How Dan
New
Gilbert
Orleans
caused that
tried to
trade get
trade
dated?
when
Dan
New
Gilbert
Orleans
is
tried to
Cleveland,
trade
right?
yeah when New Orleans tried to trade Chris Paul to
Tried.
Lakers.
Bro, that was a done deal the whole evening, boy. I remember that like that trade went down like 4 or 5 p.m. boy.
You mean
Everybody
David
was
Stern
posting
it?
that all night, boy. You know when that got vetoed? The next David Stern must be so old that he had to be in bed by 6 o'clock. So he's like, you know what? Uh I'll probably deal with that in the morning. They didn't veto that trade until the next morning. But Chris Paul done call all his family. Everybody's done happy. But it was so bad. You realize that the only reason he even end up with the Clippers is because Dog was so hell bent on going to LA. And it was like, boy, we legit can't send this by nobody nowhere
I
else.
see what he's saying now. He's Dan. I'm looking at a report now where it says Dan Gilbert pulls David Stern's strings with letter condemning Chris Paul trade. Yahoo Sports has produced a letter from Dan Gilbert to David Stern filled with vitriol. You can only imagine that Gilbert wrote the whole thing without sucking. I think I did hear
Yeah,
Jeannie Buss say that happened during the lockout when all the owners was like together, trying to discuss the features of the lockout, and then trade happened, and so some of the owners was heated that they didn't get a chance to trade for Chris Paul, and so they.
Yeah, I didn't think it's just Dan Gilbert by himself. But yeah, he did play a big part. I remember that saga too because it was a whole bunch of crying because he was I think that was after he already he already lost LeBron. And I think this was when they was trying to bring more of a balance to the league and they were saying how stars piling up on teams, creating these super teams is now gonna kill the small market for smaller teams. So they was trying to say, oh, we trying to. This when they was doing that negotiation too. That's why they had the lockout because they was trying to negotiate in the what you call it, the player something agreement, bargaining agreement, whatever.
Mhm.
And it was basically them saying, hey, Stars looking like they want team up now. Because don't forget they was trying to get Melo to come to Miami too before he went and re-signed with Denver or something.
I thought he was trying to get him to go to. Well, I guess that was later. They're trying to get him on the boats. That was when he was on the Knicks.
No, that was later. But we talking about
Yeah.
before that. Don't forget they was trying to get Melo to team up with them from they went to the '08. But Melo gone and signed an extra year with Denver. That's why it threw their free agency off. That's
yeah,
why
he's got
Denver
that
had to
money.
trade him to New York instead of him being a free agent. But
That's what that coin, you see.
yeah, Belo wanted that extra year. So that's what happened. And then the owner, they didn't have no owner in New Orleans.
So
So it
Stern was
was
acting
league
as the
owned.
owner.
Yeah, Stan was acting at the
Yeah,
owner, and he actually put
knock
it
that
out
off.
to basically a vote. And my thing is, of course, you would go vote no. Why would you send Chris Paul? If I was the other team, now me as a Laker, of course, I want it. But me as the other team would be like, why would I send Chris Paul, who's arguably the best point guard or one of the best point guard at that time, with Kobe, who's the best shooting guard at that time, and then they can get Dwight Howard, who was the best center at that time? You crazy? That don't even make sense.
Jordan probably did that to Kobe getting past Jordan.
Oh, you know Jordan vetoed that too. You think, but you crazy? You think Jordan and Charlotte was gonna say, "Yeah, boy, Kobe is my boy. Don't mind him talking now, but Kobe was my little brother and all that foolishness." Yeah, he got to fight on his own. Though. You know Jordan. Yeah, you see Jordan never send any trade to the Lakers. But Dan Gilbert is a crybaby too. That's why I didn't mind too much what LeBron do to him
Yeah,
because
I don't like Don Gilbert.
I don't like
He,
him.
he, he, I mean, I would say worse things, but I'll just say I don't like him.
I learned that he was a
Uh,
crybaby after LeBron left. The way he carried on, like you don't see owners carry on the way he's carried on.
I think this is why I know we ain't really talk about this situation tonight. Now I really won't get too much into it. Whenever I see a player taking power of their situation, I don't mind at all, boy, because some of these owners and these GMs,
Oh,
they so effort.
I was
And
having this conversation to week because fellas then was talking about friggin' Ben Simmons, and I was like, to be honest, I don't blame Ben Simmons. Like me
I don't
personally,
blame one bit.
it have to be something. My thing is, if you love your job, you love coming do it what you come to do. You happy here, this and that. There's no way you be acting like that.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
told people, I said, look back at all the situations. Y'all blame Jimmy Butler. When Jimmy Butler was ranting and carrying on and cursing everybody out in practice, y'all kicked Jimmy Butler out of practice and say he was the problem. What Minnesota did since then? Trash. When he gone to Philly, they say Philly, Jimmy Butler did the same thing there. Didn't like how they was carrying on.
No, I thought he just left. I didn't think you'll kick out of
No,
Philly.
don't forget they did one. They actually give Harris the marks instead of giving Jimmy Butler the marks. Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler had a problem with the way they was. I think it was either Ben Simmons or Embiid. He didn't like their
I
work
think it's
ethic.
bad.
I
I think
think it
it's
was
bad.
Ben Simmons. He didn't like the work ethic. Jimmy Butler have a problem with people who slack, lazy.
Yeah, he don't go as hard as
So
a
them
people
said
come.
they playing off of potential instead of playing hard. Instead of they play hard because they on a team and they should play good. They playing at the level of guys who just trying to make the team. So they just playing enough to beat the guys who there. Jimmy ain't on a run. So it's like Jimmy Butler was a problem. In the NFL, people was talking about Antonio Brown when and Le'Veon Bell. I keep telling people Ben Roethlisberger was the problem for the Steelers from long time. No one listened to me. But if we look at it now, fellas gone on to win rings. Fellas gone on to be successful. Ben Roethlisberger, he is still struggling just to get the ball past 20 yards. And they still wouldn't bench the man. So if
You
I see
see,
Ben Simmons carrying on bad right now, the only person I ever see Doc Rivers get along with is his son, and even his son leave him, and Paul Pierce. And we obviously could
let's
see where Paul Pierce
let's
head is being.
do the about it.
If you look at
Um,
Boston, all them break up, they wasn't on his run. The man gone to the Clippers, everybody run out of town. Now you going to Philly, everybody run out of town again. Like why everywhere Doc Rivers go, everybody's run out of town.
but all right, let me address this point. I see, but Simmons is always away even from college. Okay, I sort of get that. I read something the other day about how he quit on his team after LSU with Lewis. Okay, so I give you that. My whole thing with Simmons is this. My whole thing with the band situation is this,
He had
right?
a broken foot though. But okay.
Yeah, he did energy set. Band, the Sixers, when it come with they sending this to him, because he ain't went hard in practice and he's being a distraction or
Yeah,
whatever the case may be,
defensive play. You wait.
right?
I wish a coach would.
This my whole thing with the Sixers, right? And I don't like, and that's why I don't like these narratives. 'Cause all they trying to do right now is paint him as some type of
Exactly.
bad player or distraction. Let me show you something, right? After we failed during the season, guess what? Yeah, Ben Simmons did his foolishness, but y'all made it clear that we don't see this nigga as part of our future.
Exactly.
So all Ben say in return is, okay, cool.
That's
I
straight.
don't want to be here no more. That's all he say in return. That's straight. Y'all don't see me as part of your future. I don't want to be here. And you know what y'all say about them? Okay, we will trade you.
Exactly.
Now when y'all can't find the trade that y'all want, y'all put the onus on him to come back and be
Exactly.
professional.
I ain't into
And
that.
all he's saying is, wait, I ain't into that. What I come back and be a professional for? You already tell me y'all could trade me. What we playing all y'all's for? What I come in the camp for? I ain't supposed to be coming to camp. Y'all say y'all could trade me, so trade me.
I
And
don't
it's
want to
like they
be
want
here.
this way to play perfect. They want this way to act professional and all that. When behind the scenes they actively working to still get rid of the nigga. All he's saying is, "Wait, I ain't with the fake stuff.
Yeah,
I ain't with none of that fake stuff. Wait, I ain't with none of that. If y'all want to get rid of me, get rid of me.
Exactly, and that's why sometimes I don't like the media too, because I believe that the media is a bunch of puppets sometimes when it comes to things like this. Because it's always when a report come out, oh, Ben Simmons this, Ben Simmons that, and the only reason they go on with it is because, oh, the owners them is billionaires, and you trying to kiss butt, and you trying to say, oh yeah, well let me go on the side of the big boys because the big boys got all the money. But frig that. At the end of the day, you don't tell me when they ask you in an interview, they ask Doc Rivers, hey, you think you could win a championship with Ben Simmons, your point guard? Or I don't know, we can see how that is. What? Okay, good. Find another
Exactly.
point guard. Then you bring in a whole new GM who said his first thing is to facilitate facilitate a trade for Ben Simmons. Okay, cool. I sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring. You ain't obviously Ben Simmons wanted to come LA. Everybody know him, LeBron, all them is working together, and his agent is Rich Paul. You never pull the trigger. Then when Westbrook gone there, I guess he was trying to get bigger pieces from LA. Then Westbrook gone there. Now all of a sudden, okay, that trade dead. Portland tell you, big man, you ain't getting Lillard. Say another place, the only place in the IC said they could do something was the Timberwolves. And you still ain't pull the trigger with D'Angelo Russell because I guess you're trying to get 4 and 5 first round picks for a guy who
Yeah,
you
you try
say
to get
you don't
more.
even want. And you caused the guy in Minnesota get fired because they were saying, by when you gonna pull the trigger, so all two of y'all here ain't want to pull the trigger, you caused the next boy get fired. And now you can call me and ask me, say, oh, I think they was trying to meet at them and beat them come talking about, oh, we can meet you in LA.
Yeah.
Meet me? Who invite you to my house? Y'all can't just pull up here. Who you think this is? I ain't invite y'all here. So dog say, okay, I ain't into that. I don't want to meet with y'all. I given you the whole shebang. I don't want to meet your star. I don't want to meet your coach. I don't want to meet nobody from your team. That should tell you. Last resort. But I don't care where y'all send me. Trade me to Toronto. Trade me to the Orlando Magics. Trade me anywhere. I just don't want to be in Philly. You say no. Okay, you force me to come back Philly. Now when practice come, right? My contract say I gotta show up the practice and participate. I give you one good drill.
He ain't never say I gotta go out.
I
He
never
ain't
gotta
never
go
say I
out
gotta go out.
and I gotta play all. First of all,
Never say
Ben
I gotta go out.
Simmons, 1 season ago, Ben Simmons was a candidate for defensive player of the year. So if I was a candidate for defensive player of the year just a season ago, you think you would kick me out of practice because I ain't do a defensive drill? I probably the best defensive player on this team. But everything cool, boy. But I had to wrap
They,
my stuff
they,
up. And I had to say, boy, everything cool. I had to throw water on the court, boy.
I
Can't
think
finish.
it's, I think it's right. They just had him in. They ain't even had him in a. You know how they have the practice jerseys and they have the first string with the second string. Nigga wasn't even wearing none of them. So you essentially telling them, bro, you're not a part of the starting lineup. You're not a part of the bench unit. So what you getting on me for a defensive drill? I ain't even playing.
Yeah, boy.
Like as far as I'm concerned, I ain't even in the rotation. What you getting on me
Exactly.
for the defensive drill?
From me at odds, don't try and embarrass me. I think that's what they're trying to do. Don't think I can come to practice and then you can single me out and try and embarrass me, bro. That's when I
And
gonna have a problem, King. I ain't
I
into that.
heard Perk's take and Gilbert this take. They was
Ugh.
like
Who still is listening to Perk?
they think Doc Rivers actually set him up to like by singling him out. Like Doc Rivers could
Exactly.
see he wasn't engaged, and for good reason he wasn't engaged in the practice. So why single him out? Why make it seem like it's a problem when you know it ain't really a problem?
And you
So it
know I
was
ain't here for that. That's
right.
what makes me mad.
So
Like
it was more like a setup. Like yeah, I want everybody to see that you're engaged, so I could
exactly.
like punish you or reprimand you.
Just like
And I
in football when they had the Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch used to sit there every press conference and say the same thing. I just here because I want to get fined. You see Pete Carroll run on with him and say, "Oh, he's not a team player. He's not a sociable guy. We have to discipline him for that." Same thing with what's your boy name? Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was ready to destroy Russell Wilson. Like everybody, like you realize that that team broke up because of that interception and that play call. They was ready to kill Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll for that play call. But at the end of the day, Pete Carroll is playing it smooth. Like, okay, listen. At the end of the day, people come, people go. Uh, no team sticks together forever. But over here, it's like Doc Rivers playing to the crowd. Like when they ask him certain things, how do you feel about Ben Simmons? Oh, I feel like he's being a big baby. He should come here and just play. But I being a big baby. But if I Ben Simmons for true, but like real talk, but I was gonna show up to practice, and they saying, oh, he's standing off from the team. Like, bro, we come here, we play our ball, and I ready to slide out. Like, if I ain't into too much, let me be, bro. Like, I come here to play basketball. I ain't come here to start all in the family and have the Brady
Like,
bunch and all that around here, bro.
and that's exactly what he's saying. Because like you all already know the situation. You all already know you're all trying to trade me. You all already
Yeah,
know I don't want to be here. What we slapping up for? What you trying to pretend like this a amicable
that's what I
situation
saying.
for?
Don't play the victim role. That's what I don't like.
Yeah,
Don't be the organization. You don't say you want to get rid of me. You don't saying you don't want me back. You don't saying I cause you all lose because I make the layup, I pass it off. You don't put all these stuff out there. And then when I say, okay, cool, I just don't want to be here. Oh, why is the bad guy? How why y'all making it seem like why y'all playing the victim now? Like Ben Simmons just forcing his way out of Philly for no reason.
Yeah.
Like you just come and say all this to me. And now when I say, okay, cool, but let me go, now all of a sudden it's a problem. I wouldn't be surprised if
like
Philly release him from his contract. Like to
I
be
think I think
honest,
they
I
probably
wouldn't be surprised if they would just to be spiteful.
I
But at
think
the end of the day, that would
I
be a
think
blessing to Benjamin.
yeah I think they just suspend him just because they don't want to pay him, and I think they trying to spite him somehow, and that's why I say, but I don't respect it because y'all two was on the same page all summer. You don't want me here, I don't
I
want to
don't
be
want
here.
to be there.
You on the
Yeah.
same page all summer.
But now you
Don't
want to
switch
play
up your
ball.
talks now.
Yeah, because you
Now
can't
talk
find no
about
point
we need to
guard
be
better than me.
and now you talking about I need to be the good soldier. I need to come to camp and be
Yeah,
good
I
for
must
you.
be the professional now. Like, why is
I must be
always
a professional.
I must be the professional? So when management ain't professional, it's okay. When the
Yeah.
owners ain't professional, it's okay. When the media ain't
Ah,
even professional, it's okay. But
it's
me as a
fine.
player, I must just sit here and let everybody jump on my back and treat me like I is nothing. I ain't into
And
that,
like
bro.
you say, he wasn't the one. He wasn't the one to say it first. He wasn't the one to throw the first boat. Doc Rivers was the one to answer that question and be like, "Yeah, I don't know if we could win championship, but he won that team." He
And
made
B
the
was
first
and then
move.
yeah, and then Embiid talked about after the press conference, we had someone who had a layup and they didn't take it. So Embiid threw me under the bus after the press conference. So as far as I'm concerned, you already tell me, okay, this thing ain't happening. Moving forward, we don't want you. All I do is agree with Jordan. That's
Yeah.
all I do. All I do is agree and say, you're right. I won't be here no more. And they say, okay, we can trade you. Yeah, man, trade me. On second thought, no man, we ain't gonna trade you no more. Come back. No man, Jordan say y'all can do that. Jordan say y'all can do that. Let's go ahead with that. So I blame them the most in this situation. I'm saying Ben flawless. I think people keep on harping so much on Ben's play last year. And I say, yes, Ben played bad last year, but look at what has happened since then. They have both agreed to move on, and Philly is holding up the process. So that's all it is. Um, we've been on this thing a little while. It's a pretty long board. So before we head out, y'all got any shout outs? Thank everybody for watching, for tuning in to us run on, because we run on plenty. But thanks for everybody watching. Any shout outs y'all want to make?
Wait, yo, wait. Joker Martian, wait. But yeah, boy. I don't know. I ain't got none right now. You know, shout out the Lakers, shout out Patriots, shout out Tom Brady.
Basketball team. Shout out Tom Brady.
All I can say is tune in Sunday. We got some big picks coming. I know my Patriots playing the lousy Jets. I don't want to hear no running on, and don't pick my team neither. You run on all season, but who you want, make sure
Yeah.
I come with your Jets talk. I ain't
Yeah,
into that.
Don. You gotta go. You gotta go
You
with real
better
team.
go with the Jets. Don't come here running on. But oh,
I heard the Jets, mate.
I take the
I
Patriots
heard
into
the Jets.
that. I into
You think
that.
I flex? Wait, that's
I
one
watched
loss I
Matt
have to take.
Jones going up against two big defenses back to back and two big teams back to back. And it ain't even him who led the team now. Matt Jones put us in the lead for both teams. for both games, I should say. And the defense actually let the team come and score. So I riding Mark Jones this Sunday against the Jets. Uh, but anyway, we can get to that on
Bigger and
Sunday.
moment. Bigger and moment. Shout out Mormon Moms. Shout out Mormon Moms.
Yeah.
We have a big game coming Sunday. Stay ready. Stay prepared. Yeah, that's it for me. That's it for me. So until Sunday, we'll catch you all later. Stay tuned for all the sports updates. Stay tuned for the special guests we got coming up. And we out.
Yeah, the call button.
You're going to wake one up.
Yeah,
Call for 2 hours.
Oh boy.
yeah, but it's always